Well, hello, Crime Stoppers. Tremendously amusing. As soon as I try to go live, my computer does all kinds of fun and interesting things. And I don't know if you can hear them, but the fans are going on. Anyway, this just tells me that my processors are doing all kinds of fun stuff. Because why? I don't know. But every time I try to go live on YouTube, it causes problems. And then there's Facebook and Twitter. Well, I hardly ever do Twitter, but Facebook, yeah, same thing. You want your computer to fuck up? Bring up Facebook on your browsers. Simple as that. And I'm amazed. Like I said, I'm amazed. I'll just, like I said, don't leave the battlefield. This is still the. There's much better places to go, like BitChute and so forth, but this is still the town square, more or less. Although many people are starting to notice YouTube has gotten to the point where there's just shit on YouTube. I mean, if you want to watch music videos, right? But if you want intelligent discourse or anything that's vaguely controversial, not on YouTube. It's pretty sad. Pretty fun, though. It's Sunday. Gee, what things are going on? President's got the Rona. His wife's got the Rona. I've seen memes now that more people in the White House have been diagnosed with the Rona than Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, and several African countries combined. And is he going to do the hydroxychloroquine? Well, no, we're spread. The most expensive way of going about it is the way that they're saying that he's doing it. None of us have any way of knowing. My personal belief, as you probably know, is that it's bullshit. Right? It's the October surprise. It's and even if he does have the run-up, what's his survival rate? 99.97% or something stupid. Anyway, but it's great theater, isn't it? It's a great story. It's a great way to get you involved, and a great way to, right? We've got the Democrats all wishing and hoping that he dies. Oh, please, I hope he dies. Bad karma, dudes. Just simple as that. Bad karma. And see, here's the thing that you need to understand. And as if I'm the guy to explain it to you, but what you need to understand is there's more going on here than meets the eye, literally. And people are being given choices, being able to make some decisions on which path they want to go down, left-hand path or right-hand path. And I misspoke in the last video when I said that if you're left-hand path, you can't make it to fourth density. Yeah, you can, but you really got to be left-hand path, right? You can't be half-assed about it. In fact, some of those guys can make it all the way to fifth, but then at fifth, you hit the unity thing. You hit the, well, my understanding of how it works is that by the time you get to sixth density or so, there's only one, how shall I put it? You have this and this, right? The left-hand path, the right-hand path, good and evil, the yin and the yang. Oopsie, and I should do it a little more like this. I don't know. Can I do it like that? God, no. Oh, yeah, almost. Ah, there you go. Look at that. Pretty good. Anyway, look my artwork. Anyway, but the idea being is that you understand that left-hand path, right-hand path, yin, yang, it's the one thing. It's the same thing. So you can't, right? Down here, where we are, down here in third density, you definitely have this dichotomy. And our job is to try to transcend that thing, the left hand and the right hand. The left-hand pathers, they is ugly as fuck lately. Oh my God. I'm not gonna right. I'm not gonna judge because I am one who is very, very pro-abortion. But I wasn't pro-abortion in the 9th fucking month. You ridiculous monkeys, right? I mean, oh my God. It was supposed to be under, duress or under very certain circumstances, like mom's gonna die or the baby's probably gonna die or come out horrifyingly deformed or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, And but once that heart starts beating, and once I know people personally that were 6 months born at 6 months or 7 months premature, and obviously survived because they're my age. But I mean, for fuck's sake, people, if you can't understand that what these people are doing is tricking you, and absolutely tricking you, and see, that's the whole thing. It's a trick. It's a trick, right? It's a trap, tricking you into the left-hand path, tricking you into thinking that, oh, it's mom's choice. At the 9th month, it's not mom's choice. It's not dad's choice. It's not the fucking doctor's choice. This is not. This should be simple. I mean, I don't even understand why this has become radical or politicized. You don't kill babies. What the fuck? You don't kill babies. What? I mean, that's become crazy talk. This is how far we've evolved. Anyway, so that should get me banned off of YouTube for a while. He said something insane. Oh, look. See, if I was a complete dickhead, I could have taken this, and I have several of these in storage, by the way. Not because I use them on my hands, but do you notice how nice and white my whiteboard is? This is the best whiteboard cleaner right here. I don't use it on my hands. I put it on toilet paper or whatever, paper towel, or even on this thing, and then I wipe my whiteboard off with it. Well, there are a bunch of people for a little while there that could have made, I think, what, $500 off of this fucking bottle right here? Like, seriously, in putting them in those little containers and then selling each one of those containers. I could have easily done that. One, I don't care enough. Two, yeah, I'm a capitalist, but I'm not that kind of a capitalist. But the idea being is, I didn't have to go run to the store to get these. And in some places, apparently, you still can't get this stuff. And this is like alcohol. I went to Costco recently in my Plague Doctor mask, and they still don't have alcohol. And as one of my friends was remarking, alcohol is like one of the easiest fucking things to make, and yet there's a shortage of alcohol, right? Just regular old isopropyl. Because why? Because they want you to make it seem like there's a shortage. I have so much to rant about. It's ridiculous. The politics of the day is just beyond the pale. It's fun as fuck to just sit back and watch that. Remember, I can't vote because I'm not a U.S. person, because I'm not part of that corporation. And as I've done yet more research, the concept of stare decisis, and see, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, if you want packs of freaking documentation when it comes to United States corporation courts ruling that, yeah, I have a right to reclaim my estate. Yes, I have a right to expatriate. Look, here's even statutes that say, right? Also, there's this other thing that started before 1871, and that was that United States Republic, which was 1789, declared independent in 1776, but they didn't get around to ratifying the Constitution until 1889. That thing stood for a while, and see, you are one of those sovereign people. You are not a sovereign. You are not a sovereign person. Sovereignty does not lie in the person. It lies in the people. So all of the people that got together and decided that they need to govern themselves, right? We're not going to have a king. We're not going to have an emperor. We're not going to have a fucking pope, who, by the way, claims your soul. Just go look it up. The way the Messiah, it's the same fucking thing as far as I'm concerned. It just so happens that these guys are white and they have, nice buildings in Rome. But the Messiah claim all cattle on the planet. They claim that all the cattle were given to them by God. The Pope claims not the cattle, but the other cattle, these kind of cattle, the ones that have the ability to speak. Go look it up. It's a papal bull. He says 13. I can't remember the numbers. I'd have to go write them down. I have them in notes. But papal bulls, yeah, he claims all souls on the planet. Not some of the souls, not a few of the souls, not the ones that say they're Catholic, not the ones that decide to get baptized. Everybody. He claims everybody. So you got to let him know. No, your claim does not stand with me. And there's a place to go write about that. If you want to, you can write directly to the Vatican, or you can write here in the United States. And it's in the jurisdiction, the actual place called New York. There's a building in New York that you can write to. wherein you let them know, by the way, your claim holds no water with me. And again, every book that I have a pile of books here now, and they all talk about free will, free will, free will must be preserved, free will. You have free will. Now, here's what they do with your free will. They trick you. They trick you into using your free will to kill a baby. It's your choice. It's the woman's choice. They trick you into exercising your free will to harm yourself and your children. Let's go down the road. I'll just do this. Yeah. Okay, so read the ingredients. If a woman has a right to choose, then a woman has a right to choose not to have her self or her baby injected with aborted fetal tissue or compounds or other things that are derived from aborted fetal tissue. Find out what's in those things. Never mind the heavy metals like mercury. And see, one of the themes in this rant today, depending on how long they let me speak before they cut me off, is going to be the concept that you call something by different names, and the slaves get awfully confused. In fact, don't call the slaves slaves. That's the first rule number one in the rules of governance. Is that don't let the slaves know that they're slaves, because they get pissy when they find out they're slaves. A bunch of billionaires, very wealthy men, got together and decided to get rid of the middle class. But these billionaires have a very strange religion. Oh, and speaking of that strange religion, did you see Paris Hilton came out and talked about having to go to school in Utah, where the York Rite cult is strongest? Oddly enough, they moved all the way from New York, where the York Rite cult first landed, and went all the way to Utah. But those are York Rite culters. If you don't know what the York Rite cult is, maybe you should look into that. But the idea being is that, she went and I know, see, just thinking about it makes me cringe a little bit and throw up in my mouth. But I know a few people that their parents were of that ilk, like Paris Hilton and like the others that are in that other class. The Caligula class is what I like to call them. And they're all about abusing their children so that they will get fealty and obedience, and absolutely they will follow the fold and continue the religion and continue the cycle that has been going on for a long, long time. What they don't all understand is the simple concept that we're moving from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, and the shit that happened in the Piscean age is not going to continue in the Aquarian age. It's that simple. So using trauma-based control techniques on your children. You see, and this is the thing. People think, oh, these guys have everything. They've got money. In the case of Hollywood stars, they're child actors. They have all the money and they have and they've been raped and abused and they wind up taking drugs and killing themselves. Which is what the elite want, because if you've taken drugs and killed yourself, once you start taking drugs, right there, you're no longer credible. Right? These guys that came forward that had heroin addictions and so forth, talking about the cult and how there's satanic abuse and so forth. Oh, those fucking people, they're crazy. They take drugs. Can't believe what they say. Okay, so right there, that's one mechanism of control. But two, you get heroin and other pharmaceuticals, and I know lots of people in LA that will tell you directly, man-made drugs are the worst to try to get off of. Right? When it comes like marijuana, nothing, right? You can stop smoking or I don't know, ingesting it or whatever, pretty easily. But many of the pharmaceuticals, it's not easy to put those things down once you start them. So anyway, they get them on that, and then eventually, like Prince and others, Prince died basically of a heroin overdose because he hurt his knee dancing on stage. That's the story. And that's basically the truth. But at the same time, they gave him the heroin because they knew that eventually he'd OD. Go back and take a look at Prince and the things that he did and the things that he said and the songs that he wrote and the fights that he had with the establishment. And you will realize that, Prince was a thorn in their side. And even the name Prince, right? Understand what that is. Queen Latifah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That'd be Will and the boys, the Boulay boys. that entertain you and sing so well and have a good time and have drive and motivate you and look at their children, right? And then understand that there's this other power. They're Manchurians. You like to call them Chinese, but the Manchurians, they absolutely understand the art of war. If you haven't read The Art of War, I make my son started reading that when he was like 10. And then he read it again when he was 12. And now that's my oldest boy, the other boy also. And now he's 15. He's going to read it again and give me yet another book report, because he will be, at 15, he is much more prescient than he was when he was 10. And he will know that book backwards and forwards and understand the concepts and precepts in The Art of War. And so will my grandchildren and their grandchildren. That is knowledge that you can apply just playing chess, just playing video games, in general life, in business. Anyway, but The Art of War and in actual warfare. Trump is waging asymmetrical warfare against powers that have been entrenched forever. And wow, he's actually pulling it off. It's blowing my mind. I'm watching this going, wow, okay. Like I said, folding the... Every time I make a video, right? And it's multiple times a day. Yeah. Why is that? Because of lockdown, right? Never had this much traffic, that kind of traffic on that road right there, until we had lockdown. And people can't do actuarial science, and they understand, or they don't understand, that for every life we've saved, these sanctimonious fucks, when it comes to the corona, we killed 10 or 14 or 28, depending on... South Africa says 28. In the United States, it's probably 14-1. In other words, drug overdose, husband beating a wife to death, wife burning a husband in bed or whatever, suicides. I know three men. Well, I don't know them personally. I'm 1 degree of separation away from that, where a friend of mine knows of men that were doing business on the mainland and watched all the things that they worked for evaporate in less than 6 months, and decided to put an end to it. Okay, we're just getting to the good part, guys. It's just starting to get fun as far as I'm concerned. It's just starting to happen. Did you notice that in black and white, Hillary was outed for being the mastermind of the whole fucking thing? And the media didn't mention it. You want to call it a debate? Because that wasn't a debate as far as I'm concerned. But that debacle, that fucking shitstorm, that fucking dumpster fire that Chris Wallace moderated, by now it's so obvious that the people are mind washed, because, like I said, Trump is waging asymmetrical warfare against pharmaceutical companies, military industrial complex, prison industrial complex, the powers that shouldn't be, that have been in place for fucking centuries, and their latest iterations, Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and right, the names that they have. And again, those are the only people you're ever going to see or hear about. You're not going to hear about the people that pull the puppet strings on Rothschilds and Soros. And, well, Soros has obvious puppet masters. Manchurians, these other people that have a plan to take over this planet of ours. And do the one world government that you've heard so much about, and the 1,000 points of lights and so forth. It's coming. I'm going to put some links this time for sure. There are some people that are getting it right when it comes to the stock market. And I've been getting it right when it comes to the stock market. Like lately, I'm loving my account. It's looking lovely, because of a lot of different factors, but it's pretty clear to see gold and silver are metals, precious metals, and rare earth minerals and so forth. Do you understand that these fuckers, the Manchurians, again, via their agents in the United States, were making it illegal, basically, to mine, right? And how do they do it? Through the environment, through these sanctimonious pussy-headed fucks that dye their hair all kind of colors and have tats and talk about the Green Deal and how AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is such a fucking goddess and a saint. I was going to say some things that were not nice. Anyway, I like the way she looks. My grandma said, if you can't say anything, don't say anything at all. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I like the way she looks. But other than that, that should be clear. And see, this is what they do. They put the pretty face on it, right? Allison Mack, all these people in Nexium. Did you see that Bronfman? And go take a look at Claire Bronfman. The fact that, how that family is connected and how they've been running drugs, and then they got busted for selling drugs and opium and heroin and all that other stuff in China, and China hasn't forgotten just because their women are pleasant looking. But anyway, she got 6.5 years. 6.5 years for her part in trafficking fucking children. I'm in your face. I'm in a mood today. Anyway, the idea being, because I have a lot to talk about, but the idea being is that, yeah, she got 6.5 years. I know guys, because of Biden, that went to jail for 20 years for weed, not coke, not fucking any of the other hard stuff like batu in Hawaii. That's what we call meth. None of that. Just weed, 20 years. This woman is trafficking children, 6.5 years. Busted royally for trafficking children. And as Trump has said, and see, this is the other thing at Trump rallies, I have a difficult time. So I put it on 2x speed and sit there. But I mean, listen when the man talks. Same thing, Biden, and he hardly ever talks. But when he does talk, listen to what these people have to say. And Trump basically said, "We busted you guys royally, right? We have everything." They know about the Manchurians. They know that the Manchurians came here and tried to get some of these people like AOC and others to try and flip us over, to take us over, to coup us, to get the United States government, well, okay, just United States corporation, under the fold of the Manchurians. The Manchurians still under the control of other puppet masters, like I said, Rothschilds and all these other. And then again, you will never see the guys that are behind that. You'll never see them. They won't let you see them ever, 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 ever. Okay, but the politics at this geopolitical level of the Rona, very excellent game plan when you think about it. And do you remember when the Manchurians were putting all kinds of stuff on the internet? People just like dropping in the subway, dying in the streets, right? I mean, they did every kind of fear tactic because they understood that they got that the media in the United States absolutely had control of the minds of the average sheeple, and they were able to sell this disease. So far, if you look at the numbers, and I put them on there, and every time I put the numbers up, and every time I talk too much about it, suddenly the feed ends. So I'm not going to put the numbers down, but go look at the numbers. It's 99. It's 99.9, and then it drops from there, right? 999, 997, and all the way down, right? Okay. The chances of how is it a pandemic when? That was the other thing I found. There's probably going to be less people that die this year in the United States than do in than have died in 2018 and 2019 by about 800,000. That's a pandemic. And again, how many people you know that died at home of this pandemic? How many people you know that had to go get tested to find out if they even had the Rona? This thing is so deadly and dangerous that they didn't even know they had it until they were tested. In my state, they're happy to show the numbers now. Oh, we've got a second wave coming and blah, blah, blah. We've devolved to the point where we're now reporting and using basically the common cold as a distraction. If you've got sniffles and you've got or you've got lungs things going on, and I've got all kind of fun stuff happening with my own healing thing that I've been doing. But it's better, right? Just keep continuously getting physically better. I'm not regressing in age. I'm not saying that I'm turning back the clock that way, because I definitely feel it when I work with a pickaxe or a shovel, way more than I did when I was, 30 years younger or 20 years younger. So all these people that are saying, I feel better than I did when I was in my 20s. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, because I remember when I could take a pick and a shovel. In fact, I had this one guy here on Maui, he older gentleman, but he was doing great there for a while, but now his business is in the shitter. He was growing fish out in Haiku. He had and catfish, because see, that's the thing. He found a tiny niche market of tourists when we had lots of tourists here that wanted freshwater fish like catfish not saltwater fish, which we have in abundance here in Hawaii. So he was growing catfish. Okay, in order to grow catfish, he had to have catfish ponds. In order to make catfish ponds, you need to pick and shovel to dig damn things out, and he paid me to do some of the work. And I was interested in it because I was interested in how he built these ponds, and he did. He had a business where he could take catfish fry and turn them into these big ass catfish in a short amount of time. Anyway, he had a whole methodology for it. Okay, but my point being is that I could work 8 hours literally, and sometimes 10 hours because he paid me overtime because he had some stuff that he wanted to get done before the rains came, and when the rains came and it gets soggy where he was, it makes it very difficult to dig stuff out and do the work that you want to do. So we wanted to work on sunny days. Anyway, and I could work 10 hours with a pick and shovel back then. I could never do that now. Well, maybe I could, but then I'd be like sore for the next week, probably. But the idea is that you can definitely slow down and reverse and cause your health and your body to allow itself to restore itself. You need to be asleep at about 10 o'clock at night from 10 to 2. You need to find out about stuff like this. It doesn't really show it, but anyway, that's just iodine. This is 5% or 7% iodine. This is 10% iodine, which is freaking hard to get your hands on now. And this is regular. Yeah, there you go. That was 10. This is 7. This is 5. Find out about iodine. Right? Your grandma knew about iodine. Your great grandma knew about iodine. This, and suddenly they took this away from you. This will make a huge difference. Just put it on your body. Don't put that under your tongue. If you want to put it under your tongue, there's the stuff. InfoWars is having a sale, and they have their nascent iodine, which you can put under your tongue, which will make a huge difference. Also, black seed oil. Also, sulfur, sulfur, sulfur. Look. Ugh. Yet another bag. Right? This is a stream of consciousness rat. But this, I just went through another one. This is 5 pounds. This is my 3rd bag this year. So 15 pounds of sulfur I've consumed. Okay. And yesterday, for the first time in a long time, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to seal the bag in case it falls over. Anyway, for the first time, this is now October, I had cookies. Sugar cookies. I mean, like really delicious, sweet sugar cookies. One were like $4 a cookie, gourmet cookies that this lady bought and she shared with us. And then I was doing some yard work, maintenance. I take my boy to a place where he can go get paid. And he made 15 years old, $20 an hour. Are you kidding me? Anyway, we were taking some fireweed out of a pasture and stuff like that. Anyway, the daughter and the mother bought us cookies. Chocolate chip cookies that were fucking delicious. Okay, but yeah, that's the first time this year I've had sugar like that. Just plain old white sugar and chocolate and the old school American sweets, in moderation. And it was delicious. And I didn't say, no, I don't eat that kind of stuff because I'm these women and this little, I don't know what 14-year-old girl made us fucking cookies. Eat the fucking cookies. Right? You fucking sprout heads that are out there, I don't touch sugar, right? Oh, really? You're going to insult them? Is that what you're going to do? That makes you an enlightened person, right? You don't have enough health and ability to detox that sugar, because it is. It's that people laugh at me, and I've had friends think I'm crazy. Sugar is absolutely poison. It is the surest of the poisons. It is the slowest of the poisons, but it is poison. Bad teeth. Bad kidneys, diabetes. A lot of people figure out that you just quit eating the sugar, and suddenly the diabetes goes away. Anyway, if you don't have health, you don't have anything. But the bottom line is, in moderation, you should be able to eat any fucking thing, to include poison. But overall, you want to feed yourself sulfur. You want to find out about the minerals. You want to, right, so that you can keep a clear head, so that when you are faced with the nonsense that is the mind control and the grand illusion, that's what these people are. What you need to understand, or what we all need to understand, is these people are illusionists, right? They're illusion. I'm going to talk about this. See if I can remind myself to. I knew a girl that had this memorized. Right? She knew what this said. She had this memorized. The preamble to the Constitution? Fuck no. Right? Declaration, fuck no. But the shit on the Budweiser can, absolutely. But anyway, these illusionists use alcohol to help them with their illusion. Because when you drink the alcohol, one, you summon demons, but two, you are more susceptible to programming. So have a few beers or some wine. Now, it's very, very acceptable for women to drink wine at the end of the day. If anything went wrong that day, smallest thing, somebody took your parking space, you're allowed to go home and have some wine. But the idea is that now you sit there and have wine and they program you. How do they program you? With this. Maybe you watch TV. And this is the thing. Trump has mentioned this a couple of times in his speeches, that they're going to be looking into these people that lie on the free airwaves, NBC, ABC, CBS, PBS, using the public airwaves to make money, oodles of money, and lie to you while they do it. He has mentioned this numerous times. He's not going to talk about money, but I had Men in Black come and visit me when I was, and threaten me that if I kept up with my, this is back in, shit, what was that, 89? When I was on the radio, yeah, you keep talking like this and we're going to pull your fucking license. So yeah, everybody came down on me. The owner of the radio station obviously didn't want to lose his license. The general manager of the radio station came down on me. Everybody came down on me. Shut the fuck up, because you're going to make us lose our license. Meantime, these guys blatant lies now. I mean, like, if you have an IQ over 50, you can tell they're lying to you. And they lie to you every day, continuously, constantly, using the public airwaves, and they sell you commercials at the same time. What are the commercials that are on those TV shows? Like I said, I watched the news the other night, a week ago now. I haven't watched since, and I won't watch again probably for years. It's been years since I turned on NBC. Actually, I may turn on CBS because I want to see what CBS and how they do it. But the idea being is they lie to you blatantly and use advertising, and generally it's pharmaceutical companies telling you to try their whatever the fuck it is for whatever the fuck you have that maybe you don't have it, but talk to your doctor. And they make oodles and oodles of money off of it. And Trump, I think, is going to pull some licenses. I think that's going to happen, but not anytime soon. But it's coming. And see, when he gets reelected, and see, that's a foregone conclusion. These people that think that Biden's going to make it in are just. There's going to be a fight. Like, it's not going to be the kind of thing where, like normal on, the day after or 2 days after the election, except for one we had when they were doing the bankruptcy thing where they told you that hanging chads and stuff, but actually no, the United States Corporation was coming out of its bankruptcy in 1999. And anyway, there's a whole other story, and I've talked about that before. And if you don't know about it, maybe you should find out about the bankruptcies and how this United States is absolutely bankrupt. And United States Corporation is bankrupt, not you. But because you've been pledged to United States Corporation as chattel property and as the full faith and credit of United States Corporation, every bit of you bonded slave. And see, what I mean, you're a bond slave. You are, and so am I, a bond slave until such time as you are not a bond slave anymore. And the only person that digs you out of this bond slavery is you. But you have been pledged, and this goes back to 1933 when the emergency was stated, and actually 1913 is when they got things going, but it took them about 20 more years before they fucking made it so that look on your, if you are a landlord, where you actually own private property, take a look at your options. Joint tenants with rights of survivorship, co-tenants, does it say owner or does it say tenant? No, because they own all the property. They own everything. They pay you in debt. With your birth certificate, you have told United States Corporation that you are chattel property of theirs. You need their warding. You are an infant. You are not you are incompetent. You need representation, especially, and this is what you see all over Facebook. You notice Facebook is like, register to vote. You better vote. Oh, that Trump, he's so naughty, right? Oh, that Trump, he's such a liar. Oh, that Trump, he's so ugly. Oh, that Trump, he's so mean. Oh, that Trump, he has no, right? He's a white supremacist, even though he has told you that the KKK is now a terrorist organization. Bush could have done that. Obama could have done that. Clinton could have done that. None of them did that. The guy named Trump made Antifa and the KKK a terrorist organization. Meantime, Biden is doing eulogies and holding hands with Byrd, who was a grand wizard of the KKK. And they said, oh, well, he changed. He didn't change. He graduated. Right? He made Grand Wizard in that organization, in that brotherhood, and then he moved over to a slightly different brotherhood. And anyway, looking at that, that's all crazy talk, I know. Anyway, the idea being is that Trump and his asymmetrical warfare is actually amazing and winning pretty consistently. And how he's doing it, I don't know. But he has consistently, evaded, let's talk about that a little bit, evaded assassination. See, because they're trying to get rid of this guy any way, shape, or form they can. If you understand the child trafficking, it boils back down to the child trafficking. That's one thing they tried so hard to get you guys to, all of us, to think that, oh, sex for children, and that, oh, love is love, and it's just a preference, and to the credit of the sheep, 90% of them went, no, just no. Tell us another one. Fuck you. And now these people that have been involved in trauma-based control of their own children and of others. Did you hear the story about Chrissy Teigen and John Legend losing a baby? Okay, understand these fucking people are as sick comes. They are so sick, and they are so mind controlled, and they are so fucking deceived. One, you should feel sorry for them. Really, you should. And two, understand that they don't give a fuck if you believe. They believe to the point where they will sacrifice their own children. And what you hear is they lost the baby. In what month did they lose that baby? Okay, they are making sacrifices to their elder god. They have been making sacrifices, and see, in the past, it's worked. Is the thing. But many of these people are sacrificing to their gods. And again, fuck you if you don't believe it. I don't care if you believe it. They don't care if you believe it. They absolutely fucking believe. Ugh. In this book right here and in other books you haven't read. But they absolutely believe what's in here. And see, they don't read it the way they do. That comes back to the theme of you call things by different names. You are a free man who is bonded. Another name for a free man that's bonded is a slave. But see, you have the ability to break your own bonds, but they don't tell you how. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I see this too. I have friends that, I'll get back to that book in just a second. That we're talking about taking a vacation to go to Disneyland, take the kids to Disneyland, to get some programming at Disneyland. Very 3D experiential programming, but it's still programming. But anyway, they decided not to because, one, you got to get a test to get on the airplane now. We'll see how far that goes and how long that lasts. And two, it's scaled back in Disneyland at the moment anyway. And then they just let go like thousands of employees. Three, they didn't want to have to wear a mask everywhere. So they decided they'll put it off for now and hope that things get better in the future. Think about it the other way. It's the same thing in Hawaii. You come to Hawaii, you got 2 weeks quarantine. That's supposed to end October 15th, assuming you can get here. Many of the hotels are scaled back. The hotels are, I mean, the ones that are open have super duper crazy, excellent rates. Not all of them, but many of them. But how many tourists are coming? Not many. People here don't seem to understand that, and I know lots of people in this state, and same thing, California, and a couple other places that were Democrat states, where the people are just leaving. They're just leaving. Joe Rogan made it famous, but they were already leaving before that in California. And I have been telling my California friends, get the fuck out of California. And see, my Jewish friends have been telling me, get the fuck out of the United States. Right? I have no wealthy Jewish friends that are left in the United States. None, not one. They're all gone. I had one guy that stayed in Chicago, but he died of cancer, and so that's it. That all the other ones, the ones in Florida, in New York, in California, they have all left. Let's see, where did they go? Canada, South Africa, and then the ones in South Africa left South Africa and went to Panama. And actually, the ones in South Africa, I don't know where they went, but they left out of South Africa, and I think I kind of sort of lost track of those guys. But the Jews have seen this before. They know where this is going. Meantime, we're like, yep, everything's gonna be fine. Trump's gonna be president, and we're gonna right, or Biden's gonna blue wave. I can't believe these blue wavers. They make me laugh. But see, that's what they have to do. They have control of your mind, and once they have control of the mind of the masses using the media, and the Manchurians understood that they could use the media to take control of the mind, make you scared of the virus, put the mask on, get you fighting over the fact that right. It's the guys that won't put the masks on. That's the reason why your restaurants are closing. It's the guys that won't put the masks on, and that's why, right? And on top of that, they got you to believe, well, I don't know about you guys, but they got many of them to believe that Biden beat Bernie. Did Biden beat Bernie? Did Biden have more than Bernie? You know for a fucking fact that no, he did not have more than Bernie. The same way you know for a fucking fact that he's not going to have more than Trump. When it comes to votes, but none of that fucking matters anyway, because us slaves do not fucking elect the masters. They give you the illusion of choice, but in the end, it's not the popular vote that fucking elects the president. Electors elect the president. Am I lying? All right, so the idea is that they want you to pretend that you're involved. They want you to pretend that you're, and you are, pretending that this virus could kill you. So put the mask on and do all the things that we tell you and give the government all that, right? See, what it boils down to is they figured out that many of you, and myself included, have surrendered not anymore, but had surrendered our authority to these others because they're on media. In fact, I have a program here that I'm going to take a little later because I met this woman at a seminar. And now she has this full-on 5-step formula for top coaches and experts to use to get featured in major media. And basically what she has is a program that gets it so that you can figure out how to cycle your way up. If you're a coach, or if you have a problem solver, if you have some kind of business where you need customers, and the way you want to get customers is by becoming an authority. And the way you become an authority is by getting on TV. Because once the masses have seen you on TV, then, well, whatever it is, it must be true. So if you're selling, I don't know, weight loss program or whatever the hell it is, and there's coaches for everything now, here's how to do it. And what you do is you basically, first you get on local news, then you get on national news, then you get featured in this, then you get, anyway, the idea is to, right? And that's how you get authority. All right, so people like Trump and Biden and your mayor or your governor, they have authority because people voted for them, because they were on TV, because they've been interviewed on CNN or CBS or whatever the fuck it is. And now you give them authority to tell you what to do. So if that person, and see, that's what they thought. They thought that these stars that had been subjected to horrifying things, like I said, these beautiful women, the bones in their closet are ugly. Go look at the Paris Hilton video again, like I said, and others that have come out before her talking about, right? And they were lambasted and, oh, they're crazy, and oh, they must be drug addled, or oh, they're just whatever they could use to try and get you to say that they don't have authority and that their experience doesn't have relevance and that their experience isn't true. What we tell you is true, and nothing else. And see, again, the Manchurians understood this and used it against the masses here in the United States. And why were they doing this? Because the United States is the last impediment to their plan, their evil plan for world domination. Wait, is it this? Right? They were going to dominate the world. They're trying and still have this plan for world domination. And it was a very succinct plan. Getting Hillary in the White House was a very big part of the plan. And when she didn't get into the White House, they fucking blew fuses, obviously. And you can see it happening. And now, it's like after 4 years, yeah, Trump has gotten rid of the TPP, gotten rid of the Paris Climate Accord, made trade deals that don't fucking rape this nation. Because the other trade deals, if you take a look at, even with Canada, even with our fucking friendly, polite neighbors to the north, we were getting fucked in those. When I say we, I'm talking about people that live on North American continent. Who believe themselves to be Americans but are actually U.S. persons, them was getting fucked in these trade deals. Okay, Trump reversed a lot of these trade deals and made deals that were fair for both sides because trade is the best thing. If our founding fathers understood the very simple contract or very simple concept that through trade, both sides should be enriched and that you can grow and, right? Okay. That's not what those are not the kind of trade deals that we were in. And like I said earlier, they had, using the Green New Deal and using all this other environmentalism and climate change and global warming and shit, made it so that we were going to be dependent on the Manchurians for our fucking precious metals and our, well, not precious metals, but our rare earth minerals, required for electronics, required for guided missiles, required for our battleships, required for all manner of technology that some of which has been rolled out and some of which is to be rolled out. But we were going to get all of those rare earth minerals from China, not here in the United States, because of regulation. Those regulations have been rolled back. They fucking hate this guy. Oh my God, they hate this guy. Because he's fucking with their game plan. There are these others. Like I said, there's so much stuff that goes through my head. I can't even keep track, or can't even keep up with all the stuff that I want to tell you about. But you need to understand that these guys, say what you will about Trump, he is the tip of a spear that is contrary to some very nefarious and evil people, creatures, I think is a better term. They have absolutely made it so that you were going to be beholden to this new world order. And they had a plan, and the plan is being dismantled. And dismantling the plan wasn't going to happen in a week or a year. Now, I'm in the same camp. If they have everything, and they do, like you said, like these guys that, this is how hubris-filled these fucks were. They turned in their phones, but they wiped them first. And they're like, oh, we made a mistake and accidentally cleaned off everything. Does it matter? I mean, do any of you think that these people, that especially if they were in the FBI, DOJ, etc., CIA, that their phones, that everything that came off of their phones wasn't logged someplace else? That they, like, right when they say they have everything, they have everything. And see, now we have a member of the CIA absolutely blocking more declass. But the declass that has come out has let you know that Hillary Clinton cooked up this whole plan, and everybody else backed her, going all the way up to Biden and Obama. Everybody else backed the plan to try to get her into the White House. This was the plan. And see, they were completely careless because they never thought they were going to lose. So they didn't worry about being discreet or even semi-intelligent when it came to their communications, because they were never worried about their communications ever seeing the light of day, because they had all judges and politicians that would protect them. All of those stops have been removed. Oh, speaking of one more stop, we'll talk about the Supreme Court Justice. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a dead bird, finally. But Ginsburg, and the day that they released, what day did they release that, by the way? Anyway, the point that the Supreme Court is now being packed. I'm not a fan of this, of Amy, of Barrett. She thinks that the government, and actually she's probably correct, that United States Corporation has the right to tell its chattel property to lock down, to wear masks, I think to mandate vaccinations. I mean, but she is 100% authoritarian, because this is what's happening, people, is the authoritarians are taking control in this country. And the authoritarians are taking control from those that were treasonous. And, you know, it's out of the frying pan into the fire for the average person, because the middle class is getting wiped out. But the bottom, I mean, absolutely getting wiped out. I'll put more links down there. Gregg Mandarino will tell you all about it from his slant. Again, 32nd degree Mason. Maybe you pay attention to what he has to say. He may take a look at his track record when it comes to trading. He might have some information that you're not privy to. Let's put it that way. And the thing that's different about him is he's 100% transparent. You can get his trades. You can tell what positions he's in, because he tells you what positions he's in when he enters them, at what price, and when he exits them. Right? So he's not fucking around. He lets you know. But anyway, that guy will tell you that they are absolutely, the plan, and it is in effect, and Trump is part of that plan, is get rid of the fucking middle class. Right? You fuckers. You guys had too much free time. You had guns, and you might become problematic. So let's just get rid of you. And how are we going to do it? by using your free will against you, by getting you to put a mask on, by getting you not to go to sporting events, to getting you to not go to nightclubs and church and all this other stuff because you're afraid and you stay home because you don't want to die because of the Rona. That's 99% survivable, even if you're 40, unless you have like diabetes, you're obese. But I mean, if you will spend just a little bit of time doing research and not listening to, and see, if you listen to PBS or CBS, even snippets, but I mean, or NBC, like I said the other night, yeah, I can see where you'd be very concerned about the Rona killing you. But if you took a look at reality and see Democrats are reality only, or reality optional only, they're not reality only. They're the opposite of that. It's optional, 100%. They're in the belief that somehow, like Texas was in play. Like somehow the Texans were going to vote for Hillary. Or now they're going to vote for Biden and Kamala. Are you fucking kidding me? Somehow... I mean, just take a look at some of the states. None of the states that they say are in play are in play. And a lot of the states that Trump didn't win last time, he's going to win this time. Clearly, even with all the cheating. But see, like I said, they're making it so that you believe that Biden beat Bernie. You'll believe it when they try to tell you that, oh, it looks like a landslide, but actually Biden beat Trump. Biden can't can't fill a room. Trump is filling stadiums. Trump is probably still going to get more done during the fucking quarantine than Biden got done in all the whole time he was vice president, and much of the time that he was in the Senate. The only thing Biden was able to do was put niggers in jail. That was his big accomplishment, and now they can't figure out why niggers won't vote for him. It's awesome. But I'm sorry, a lot of people remember who put mom and dad in jail back in the 90s. When we became super predators, and when crack cocaine was naughty and powder cocaine was cool. But if you did the crack, you were going to jail forever. And if you did right, and then the crackhead, oh, that was a crazy person. But a person did coke, well, that was one of the signs of success in Wall Street, wasn't it? Got control of your mind, make you think whatever they want you to think. Show you a building that's exploding and tell you that it's collapsing at free fall speed because a plane ran into it. There's no explosions there. That's not a pyroclastic flow due to thermite or whatever the fuck it was. I know all kind of people that have all manner of theories on that. But the one theory that absolutely is complete bullshit is that 2 planes hit that building and 2 planes hit. Yeah, 2 planes hit 2 buildings and 3 buildings collapsed all in the same day due to fire. Yeah, because they showed you pictures, but they told you what the pictures meant. And it turns out to be really, really powerful that they get control of your mind. And then with the programming and clever use of grammar fair and word fair, again, using words to say the same thing, right? Calling the same thing many different names and confusing you. It's amazing how effective it is. Because I looked at those buildings for whatever reason, and I saw absolute controlled demolition, that those buildings were demolished. Apparently, everybody else looked at those buildings and believed the story. Well, not everybody else. I'm sure quite a few of you were not fooled. But everybody else believed because over and over again, you were told, oh, the planes caused the collapse. Oh, there was a pancake effect. Oh, here's all this bullshit physics that's complete nonsense that no way can the mathematics support this. But you don't know math. You don't have any concept of physics or mathematics. So we're going to lie to you consistently, and you're going to believe us. And you did. And it took a long time for a lot of people to wake up. And we're still not done with that. Right? This past September, there's all manner of people from architects and engineers and pilot and all these other different people that have come out still trying to get the truth out about what happened then. Now, understand that if they'll do that on American soil to control you, the Rona is no big deal. I mean, minor in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the magnitude of the lie and the magnitude of how badly they're willing to lie to you, to fuck you over, to control you, to extract wealth from you, because the United States corporation that is bankrupt and of which you are pledged as chattel property, they need the money. They need the bonds. Well, actually, technically they don't, because it's trillions. They're already in the realm of trillions and trillions of dollars. People don't understand how much is out there, which is why way back in the day, they didn't think that they were going to print, like, even just recently, who was it? Crap, I can't remember. It was Peter Schiff or Jim Willie or one of them guys was saying that nobody could foresee that they were going to print this much money. Because back in the day when we were still playing around in the puddles of, hundreds of thousands and millions and then billions, when billions was a lot of money. I remember when billions was crazy amounts of money. That's 1,000 millions. Now, hundreds of millions. Now we've moved on to trillions. Right? What's next? Quadrillions. There are trillions and trillions of dollars. When you take a look at your bonding, just on you, how many millions? People in the I don't know what you want to call it, community, are amazed at how much has been written in their bonds. It's millions and millions. It's not just a few 100,000. It's millions and millions, sometimes into the hundreds of millions on each and every one. Now, think about it. Like I said, they don't make money out of thin air. What they're doing is bonding you and me. Every month, $5,000 written on that bond. What bond? The case number that is the birth certificate, the number on that birth certificate has been given to the bankruptcy court and been used as a collateral in the bankruptcy, as chattel property, right? Look into this. Right? It absolutely has to do with you. This is not just some kind of crazy conspiracy theory on the web. This is something that you need to look into. And then you need to understand res judicata is the fact that this has already been decided. This is the fact that this nation is bankrupt, and it's not a nation, it's a corporation. Well, all nations are corporations. And see, what they did is they drew some lines on the map and got everybody to fight with each other and told you that these were something other than what they are, which is corporations. You want to believe that they're countries or nations. Well, yeah, you live on the land, but the thing that's over you, that's governing you, that's giving you usufruct. See, you register your guns. You have usufruct of those guns, but they're not your guns. You register that car. You have usufruct of that car, but it's not your car, right? But you get to use it, and they make you get insurance on. Anyway, look into it. Look into it. Look into it. Look into it. And then, fine, as I have shared with you before, this isn't new information. Back in 1985, that one senator wrote that letter that talked about the fact that, yeah, you can rescind and revoke all of your powers of attorney that these people assume and presume to have. You can, right, just revoke it. You can reclaim your estate. You're allowed, right? And see, what they've done. All right, pay attention. Right, this is not crazy talk. This is all right. You are not. All right. Instead of talking about what you aren't, let's talk about what you are. You are the trustor. You are the grantor. You are the infant that created the trustor and the grantor. Right? And they still consider you to be this infant. So what you have to do, right? You're not the trustee. You are not the grantee, right? You are the trustor and the grantor and the beneficiary, right? And the beneficiary may not be a trustee. All right, now here comes the tricky one. Oh, look, and all these people left. All right, hold on. The Baylor. You are the Baylor. This is the organic person. This is the, see, I use person. This is the organic man or woman. Person includes corporations and, right? The United States is a person. Microsoft is a person. All of them, Chevron, those are persons. They're corporate persons. And what they did is they converted you into a corporate person. All right, so they converted you. All right, so let's go with the case of Joe Blow Smith. Joe Blow Smith, in all caps, is the Bailey. All right. That's not you. Any more than the picture in my ID is me, right? My favorite, right? That would like I said, the comedians tell you the truth. That's not you, right? Is that you? Wait a minute, is that your girlfriend? No, that's a picture of her, right? Is that you? No, that's a picture of you. Is that you? No, that's my ID, but that's not me. So they get you to identify with this all caps name, this legal fiction, this legal person, right? And that legal person and that legal fiction is the Bailey. All right, Joe Blow, that would be your Christian name. That would be your first and middle. And actually, you don't have a first and middle. You just have your name. And this is who you am, right? I am Joe Blow. You are that man or woman. This is living flesh. This is legal fiction. All right, so the legal fiction is the Bailey, and the living flesh is the Baylor, and the Baylor has to bail out the Bailey and claim all the bailments and reclaim your estate. That's what you're doing. How do you do that? Not my job. But there's paperwork to be done. And then try to understand that if you use their paperwork, you are acknowledging their authority. So maybe you want to come up with your own paperwork, and you might want to reference their paperwork in your paperwork, wherein you say, yeah, this is all the information I need for travel documents, right? Because again, your free will has to be preserved. But see, what they do is they get you to, and see the infant, also the Baylor. But the infant is a ward of the state, has no standing until such time as the infant turns 25, right? And before that, it's infantry that they try to get you to sign up for. But that infant, and that is, can I pull it out correctly without? In the Internal Revenue Manual, at this point, you will see, and then you got to know 28 USC, and then you got to know 46 USC, and then you better know 42 USC, and then you better know 5 USC, and then, there's a bunch of clues in 26 USC, which, by the way, is not positive law. Right? That's the IRS. That's your Internal Revenue Service. Department of the Treasury, IRS. Does it say United States Department of the Treasury? Does it say United States of America Department of the Treasury? No, it doesn't. Anyway, in here, all of these different places basically refer to the point that the infant is an infant until age 25, and at age 25, there's some shit you should have done that none of us did because they didn't tell us, because we went to slave school, and because the number one way to keep a bond slave happy is to not let him know that he's a bond slave. Right? Get them to say that, yeah, I'm a U.S. person. Get them to get excited about Trump or Biden or whatever the fuck it is, politics, the theater that is the charade that is the corporation, and get them to give up your votes, or give up their rights and go vote, because then you go fill out a form that says you need representation. And when you walk into a court, if you can't afford representation, someone will be appointed for you. If you walk into a court of law saying that you want to represent yourself, well, that's naughty. Don't do that. You want to be their impropria persona, and you don't want to appear generally. You want to appear specifically to discharge whatever the controversy is. Right? There's English that you need to understand, right? And the book that not the book, a book, one of the books that you want to understand that will help you understand is Anderson's Law. But also Black's Law, and I keep not bringing them in here. But Black's Law, Bouvier's, you need to understand what the words mean, so that you can use them correctly to let them know that you are giving them judicial notice. And so you're giving them notice; they're fired. Simple as that. Easy to say, not so easy to do. And they're going to try and tell you that you don't have the authority to fire. Well, fuck yeah, I do. Right? Yes, I do. And you have acknowledged this numerous times. But see, public relations, every time, whether it's some kind of defective product, and I was trying to think of one that comes to mind, but they're told to make the person feel like this is the first time this has ever happened in the history of ever that their car blew up when it got hit from behind, which is, by the way, why gas, right? I remember when you used to tip down the license plate and put the nozzle in the back. But see, that was problematic because if you got rear-ended and there were sparks, the gas tank could explode. So finally they figured out that it was probably a better idea to route the fill spout for your gas tank to the side of the car, not the back of the car. That took a long time. There are a lot of vehicles, and I love them, actually. I love the way they look, that have the fill spout behind the license plate of the car. A lot of you guys don't remember that. But you used to tilt down the license plate because the thing was hidden behind the license plate, and that's where you'd put the gas in. But now it's all on the side. Why is that? Because they used to blow up when they were, not just Pintos, right? They used to blow up when they were hit from behind. Okay, when people complained about this and when people, right? Oh, no, right? Okay, took a long time. Same thing with seatbelts. It took a long time for seatbelts to get installed in the cars, and then they made you start wearing them. One, because they could raise revenue that way, but two, because they actually did figure out that, yeah, the seatbelts overall save money most of the time. But the idea being is that while this was going on and people were arguing for or auguring for these kind of changes, the people that were against it, or the corporations and so forth, made it seem like you were crazy. Even if it comes like to some small appliance, like the leaking microwaves and so forth that were letting out radiation and sterilizing people that were standing around them too closely. That's crazy talk. That never happened. Oh, look, here's a lawsuit. Oh, perfect one. Tobacco, right? Cigarettes are good for you. What are you talking about? You crazy fucking slave. What do you mean you want money? Because, anyway, the idea being is that, yeah, they try to make you feel like you're the crazy person when, in fact, you might be telling the truth. So it's not non-different from your government when you say, hey, I want my estate back, and hey, I'm severing, rescinding, and revoking any assumption that you had or any presumption that you had power of attorney over my estate. No, you don't. Or you have power of attorney for so long until such time as we get all of this settled and my bonds are collapsed, right? I kill my bonds and they're moved into an account with the United States of America, the Treasury Department of the United States of America, not the Department of the Treasury of the United States Corporation, which, by the way, the Federal Reserve has been folded into. Right? So the idea is that they're going to be like, that's crazy. You can't tell us that we don't have power of attorney anymore. You can't tell us that you're claiming your estate. Well, in fact, they're going to try and trick you into thinking that you're the trustee or the bailee. Right? But no, you're the bailor. You're the trustor. You're the grantor. You are the infant that oops, I don't have them here. Nope, I don't. I put them in the other room. But all the birth certificates, right? I just ordered a bunch of birth certificates. The numbers on the birth certificate are the case number for that bankruptcy. That lets them know that you are ward of the state. That birth certificate lets them know. And is your signature on the birth certificate? Then rescinding that contract should be a lot easier than you think, if you know how, because your signature is not on that birth certificate. Mommy's is. Daddy's probably isn't. A doctor's is, a witness. But you're not on that birth. So, but you are the infant that created all of these trusts and estates. And you got to go back and look at the fact that, yeah, the Catholic Church is involved in this. The fact that Amy Barrett is Catholic, no surprise to me. They have to be, right? It's canon law that they're going to be dispensing. But the idea is that Amy Barrett, I'm not a fan of Amy Barrett for the very simple reason that she thinks that the government can tell you what to do. Technically, she's correct. If you are chattel property and an infant and a ward of the state, you ain't got nothing to say about what the Supreme Court or certain politicians in United States Corporation have to say about you. But if you are one of the people in Article 4 of the Organic Constitution for the United States of America, that created this whole thing, and that you were here before such time as, and so you got to be able to take a look at your family tree. Right? You need 3 generations on the land, but you can get around that. But if you have 3 generations on the land, you are a son. Right? S-O-N. You are a native son. They try to convert you into a per son, not a native son. There's a fucking difference. Fact check me, damn it. Ooh, look, somebody's writing. Absolutely. Is Trump part of the United States corporation? Part of the United States corporation? Is he a United States corporation? Simple as that. Oh, wait, I got somebody knocking on the door. Hold on. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Very good. And these will not go to waste. You know it. Thank you. See, this is how Hawaii works. We got extra bananas. You like some bananas? Yep, I do. Okay. Where I was when I was so rude. I do. Okay. Where I was when I was so rude, interrupted by free bananas. And see, that's how. When I have free extra stuff, like, then I give it to my other neighbor, and it still goes on here in Hawaii. That is 100% common. Bag of avocados, bag of mangoes, taro when it comes, coconuts when it comes. I mean, and it just got right. And when I was very young, that happened to the point where you almost never went store. Right? I mean, you go store once in a while for canned goods, but you certainly didn't go store for lettuce or beans or breadfruit or any of that kind of produce. Anyway, that what you just saw is typical. Well, you didn't see it, but what you get is what that is absolute typical Hawaii. That's what happens here. As simple as that. One of the things I like about this place, right? We're not burning down each other's fucking stores. There isn't going to be any looting. If November 5th comes around and there is civil war, like some people are thinking is going to happen, or the Democrats are going to lose their minds, or the Republicans are going to lose their minds, Hawaii is going to sit back and be like, here. And we're just going to watch you guys shoot at each other. Because see, the Manchurians have made it to the point where you guys don't know who to shoot at, right? You're going to shoot at each other. You're going to shoot at guys in uniforms. You're going to shoot at guys. I mean, you're not going to shoot at the guys that matter. Anyway, but before I was interrupted, I know what I basically was saying is that, yeah, it's United States Corporation. Trump is president of United States Corporation. So, yeah, I don't know where the fuck people are thinking that somehow Trump is on their side. Now, some of Trump's goals, some of United States corporations may fall in line with yours, like you getting a job, right? Being just over broke. So you stay busy and you don't think about revolution or think about raising up your consciousness or think about moving into fourth density and so forth and how you're going to get there, right? No, what they want you doing is voting and needing representation. Put that mask on so that we know. I'm trying to read the comments that are over here. You should take these comments, by the way, and put them in the thing, because every once in a while, and I don't do it, it makes YouTube, however this thing works, makes it so that comments have been turned off for this post. Even though there's a shit ton of comments, now suddenly you can't see them. On some videos, you click it, and yeah, you can see them, and sometimes you click it and you can't. So anyway, take these things, you're going to use your control X or Control C, and then do your Control V and put them in the comments underneath the video so that people know what the fuck I'm talking about here. Or maybe I will. Yes, there you go. Hey. Yeah, there you go. Why isn't Clinton in jail? Why isn't Epstein in jail? If they have everything, why don't they just release everything and let the chips fall where they may? Why is that? Why at this late date is numerous treasonous pedophiles still running around? In fact, some treasonous pedophiles are running for office. But Trump's on your side. I don't 100% agree with this guy, but I agree with the sentiment. Absolutely. And the fact that Alex Jones has controlled the opposition, absolutely. But he still sells freaking iodine super cheap. So I'll buy it from him. Anyway. I don't know. Above my pay grade, I'm sorry. If you're in the Netherlands, oh, man. But understand this. In all of the nation states where these billionaires, literally, think about this, a very few exceptionally wealthy men who were well-connected and considered themselves to be in powers of the universe. Yeah, there you go. We absolutely love bananas. And I actually know people that don't like bananas. I can't imagine it. I used to have a full-on banana patch in my backyard when I lived in Waihe. I had heirloom bananas, and I had taken bananas from what used to be settlements up in the valleys and so forth, and brought back the keikis and planted them. And I had all manner of different kind of bananas in my little backyard that would give constantly year-round. But I know people that they let their bananas fall to the ground. I have a neighbor over here that lets their bananas fall to the ground. And a lot of us were talking about, well, can we at least cut them? But anyway, nobody wants to talk to those guys because the police have come to their house numerous times for domestics, so nobody goes over there and talks to them. But anyway, and part of the program is that they have a huge amount of banana plants on the back fence over here, and they just fall to the ground, go to waste. But yeah, the idea being is that so you guys are distracting me now. But the idea being is that when it comes to Netherlands and other countries like Canada and Australia, isn't Australia figuring out that it was a shit idea to give up your guns? The bottom line in all of these works, including this one, but oddly enough, including this one, free will, the concept of free will. So they cannot stymie your free will. They cannot, they're not allowed. Okay. In fact, everything they do, if you look at, that's why they're such deceivers. That's why they're such tricksters. They have to use your free will against you. They have to get you to fill out paperwork that you don't understand the adhesion contract and you don't understand the other part of that contract. There's a great one. Oh, this Moorish woman, love her, right? Because here's the thing, courage is sexy. The fact, like, I didn't find Paris Hilton to be terribly skinny white girl, not my type, just not my type. I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad looking woman at all. That would be ridiculous, but I'm just not my type, right? But now she's sexy as fuck, right? Coming out and basically courage is sexy. Simple as that. That's why a lot of women don't understand that when they go online and they get attacked from all sides from libertarians and so forth, is because people that will stand up, speak their mind, men find that sexy, believe it or not. Courageous women, we find that sexy. The Joan of Arc thing, the woman that will, pick up a shotgun and defend her babies. Yeah, that's sexy as fuck. The same thing when it comes to, anyway, we don't need to go down that road. But the idea is that free will must be preserved, right? So they trick you into giving up your free will. They trick you into signing adhesion contracts. They trick you into the birth certificates. They trick you into contracts that you don't understand. They trick you into thinking that you are part of a republic when actually you're part of a corporation. They trick you, they trick you, they trick you. All right. So once you find out about the tricks and once you decide that you want to exercise your free will, they have to honor that. How you go about it, again, is above my pay grade. I know what I'm going to do. And I know that I've stumbled down some paths, and I have fucked up. I mean, I wouldn't take my advice if I was you, because I have fucked up repeatedly. And through the grace of God and the luck of the dragon, I have managed to persevere. I've managed to come out on the right side of things. But I didn't do it right. And now looking back, I go, oh, I should have did this. I should have done that. And now, see now, and that was all dealing with the IRS back in the day when I decided that, wait a minute, you don't, no, just no. Put my foot down. No, you're not taking this money back. And you took some money from me and I want it fucking back. They never did give it back to me, but they stopped taking any more from me. But the idea being is that that was only one agency, that I let them know in no uncertain terms that I was a man, that I was not a business, that I was not involved in trade or business. Oops, yeah, I took it down. Yeah, well, nice day. That's trade or business. That is a trade name. See, I have another trade name, which I paid for, which is my trademark. And I have one of these even, right? Registered trademark, because now I have this corporation that's a bitch that will defend that trademark, and they have this big army and all kind of stuff. Anyway, but the idea being is that that's not you. That all caps name on that birth certificate, that's not you. Okay, you got to let them know that that's not you. You are authorized to represent that, though, right? You are absolutely authorized to represent this trade name, but so are they. So you have to revoke their ability to have a power of attorney to create bonds for this guy, or this thing, for this entity. All right. So then the natural person, the living flesh, the man or woman designated by that thing. See, they call things by different names and you get confused. Right? So you think that I can plainly see that there's an A there and that there's no here. This is United States. This is United States of America. And you're going to fucking tell me there's no difference? You can't tell the difference? And you're going to tell me that people that tell you that there's a difference are crazy. Because you know that that United States, and see, like, go look on that, the business that is, oh, well, it's not a business, it's a court. Constitution Ave, Northwest, 20001, Washington, D.C. That's the bankruptcy court. It doesn't say United States of America Bankruptcy Court. It says U.S. It says U.S. Bankruptcy Court. It doesn't. And see, the guys in the IRS, depending on the IRS, and see, this is the other thing. You got to take a look at the different IRSs that are out there. There's various internal revenue services, and there's also other agencies that have IRS as an abbreviation, where it doesn't stand for Internal Revenue Service. But anyway, IRS also it says. On any letter I've ever gotten, it says Department of, there's your clue right there. There's your grammar fair and your word fair that they use against you, that of, State of Hawaii, State of California, Department of the Treasury, this one, IRS. Oops, Treasuress, this is Treasury, IRS. Where does it say United States? You just assume that this is the United States of America's Department of the Treasury. It's not. Okay, so yeah, this thing right here. And that U.S. persons equals Americans. No, it fucking doesn't. United States persons are not Americans. In fact, United States persons are enemies of Americans, considered enemies of the state. What state is that? United States of America is the state, right? The United States of America, that republic, considers U.S. persons to be enemies. So whether you like it or not, you is an enemy of the state. Check me, right? Fucking check me. I'm so fucking tired of the fucking wage slaves and the bond slaves that went to bond slave school and were filled full of bond slave school ideas and bond slave school tenants and bond slave school properties, right? You went to slave school and you never heard any of this, so it's fucking crazy talk. And you know what's true because you fucking watch TV. Again, probably not this crew, but most of your fucking friends. That's exactly where they fall. Right? They don't know any of this stuff, but they know it's false because they make assumptions about U.S. persons and what U.S. means. And yeah, it fucking matters. And then it turns out that in that square, right? So again, kill the bonds for that fiction. You are not that fiction. You must separate yourself from that fiction. There's a way to do it. They don't like it when you do it. You're correct, right? But at the same time, they got nothing to say about it because it's your free will. Your free will must be preserved, right? So if you give up your free will, well, fuck you then, right? Simple as that. And if they trick you into giving up your free will and you continue to give up your free will after you figure out that you've been tricked, fuck you 10,000 times, right? And by the way, that's the position that I was in for, I don't know, 20 years or so. Right? I figured out a lot of different things, but I didn't know what to fucking do about it. And the way I figured it out was not because I watched internet videos, it's because I was dealing with the IRS, writing letters back and forth. I have tubs of letters and documents written back and forth from the IRS, threatening letters, right? Where they huff and they puff and they try to blow your house down. But see, I had done nothing that they could get me for. They couldn't send a SWAT team here to get me because I hadn't done anything to merit that. And there are a lot of people that do. Right? There are a lot of people that fuck around and find out. And then they find out that, yeah, the fucking IRS will bust down your fucking door and drag your ass off to jail if you fuck up. Same thing when it comes to a lot of this other paperwork if you get a little too uppity and get a little too stupid about it. And that might come at the local level, that might come at the state level, or that might come at the federal level. Take a look at what Trump has done when it comes to these people in Portland and, well, I don't know, Seattle, Portland. Anyway, on the West Coast where they were having all these demonstrations and so forth. What did they do? They deputized, find out about that, a lot of the local police, state and local police officers became temporary federal agents, and everybody that they fucking arrested are going to be prosecuted under federal law. The United States Corporation, just United States Corporation. Understand it's this. All caps. That's it. No America, just United States. And that is a corporation. And you, with your birth certificate, and this corporation is bankrupt, and you are the surety for that bankruptcy. All right, so United States Corporation doesn't fuck around. They have the guns. They have the clubs. Go ahead and break their fucking laws and see what happens. Right? And federal pens are, I've never been, but I understand they're no fun. Okay, now what they're going to try and do is trick you or scare you into thinking that anything you do is going to get you in trouble. I have lots of friends that think, can't believe the IRS doesn't come and lock me up. They can't. Now, if I blatantly disregard their law, now they can. If I break one of their statutes while I'm their chattel property and a ward of their, now they can. But me just exercising my free will and telling them that I'm a man that doesn't live in their jurisdiction, right? Their state of jurisdiction. All of those state of jurisdictions, including the United States, is contained in the 10 square miles known as DC. You know who else is in DC? Australia. You know who else is in DC? Canada. You know who else is in DC? Anyway, lots of different little islands and so forth are part of District of Columbia. Right? And again, there's the District of Columbia. It's not Columbia District, right? Again, state of California, state of Hawaii, right? It's Hawaii State Constitution. It's not state of Hawaii Constitution. There's a clue, right? I seem to notice quite a bit now the difference between County of Maui and Maui County. Corporation, recognize the corporation. And you better respect the corporation because these fucking corporations have teeth. They have all the guns and clubs. We do not have all the guns and clubs. So the best you can do is fight to a draw. you will understand art of war and wage asymmetrical warfare on paper with these guys, wherein you exercise your free will and let them know that you are a man or a woman upon the land, that you are not a person in residence, and that you have a depositary. Here, I give you this much. Oh, shoot, no, I'm not. I was gonna, and then I've decided against it. But actually, I can do this though. If you take this, oh, and this will be that's it. That's a depository right there. You can do, and it's depositary. Hawaii, I don't know what, 96768. That's Wailuku with a +4 1305. That would be HI US. That thing exists in DC. It will be delivered to a post office down there. I'm up country in a place called Makawao. This 96768 is Wailuku, which is the county seat on Maui. But that thing right there is in here. In your mind, it's down there on the island of Maui, because that's where the letter appears. And see, this is the difference. Oh, bro, we're getting into all of this. The difference between mail, because they've been in the news a little lately, and post. The stuff that goes into your depositary usually is mail. I've done stuff on the 3-cent stamps and the difference between mail and post. Now, you can post from person to person, but those persons need to be men or women. You can also post person to person, as in businesses, but you may not post to the corporation that is United States. You have to use mail to deliver anything to your congressperson in DC. You have to use mail, DC. You have to use mail to write to the 7, what they call the 7 heavies, the seven different agencies and their right notice to agents is notice principle, like the IRS. You need to use mail. You can't post the IRS. You need to use mail to talk to your senator. You need to use mail to talk to the Department of the Treasury, to talk to Treasury Direct Retail Security Services. It's mail, not post. Okay. The idea being is that United States, you have a depositary, and that depositary is in the area that we call DC. DC does not extend to the that 10 square miles that is the District of Columbia, does not extend to the land mass known as Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands. There's a big island of Hawaii known as Hawaii. There's another island next to it, the one that I'm on, called Maui. Maui is not in District of Columbia, but the depositary is considered to be in the District of Columbia, and it would be delivered to a post office in Wailuku. Is this hard for you to understand? Okay, so you need to break the bonds and see the person that gets mail at that depositary is not you. There you go, Sarah Connor, you're sexy. Thanks. I'm pretty damn hot. I'm on fire today. But anyway, that makes me laugh because there's a lot of people that might have some argument with that. Damn, that's it? That's your only comment? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'd be surprised. There's 3 temples, and I don't know about that because I'm an American, almost. I'm getting there. I'm trying to declare the fact that I'm an American. But I'm part of United States Corporation, was born into it, had my mommy sign the birth certificate. I never signed a birth certificate. I have children. I didn't sign my name appears on no birth certificate because I understood this. But the idea being is that what? So you've been watching what was the guy's name? Because it is just a ride, and you are absolutely correct. But while you're here, there's some things that you might want to do so that when you get off of this ride, the next ride you get on is even cooler than the ride that we're on now. Hicks, yes, Hicks figured it out. And how did Hicks figure it out? Hicks expanded his mind using psychotropics. I believe it was LSD that woke Hicks up the rest of the way. But anyway, the idea is. Yeah, Bill Hicks is absolutely a good guy to watch because and watch his progression as he woke up further and as he realized, fuck it, I don't give a shit about the cancer, right? I'll smoke these things if I want to, which is a dumb thing to do. Finland, holy cow! Wow, I'm always amazed. I enjoy this. See, because in my other business, doing the math, I talk to people in Europe and Indonesia and Australia and New Zealand. Got a lady down there that I like very much. She's waking up and she realizes her friends are... See, this is what you realize when you look around now. Look around. How many people wearing masks? How many people walking down the street wearing a mask? How many people driving in their car? My sons and I have a game. We get to punch each other every time we see somebody drive by that has a mask on. It's like playing Spud. And if there's more than one person in the car, that's pandemonium, right? If like there's two people in the car and they're both wearing masks. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. And what I'm talking about is insane crazy talk for those kind of people. Right? There's a very small crowd. And see, this is the thing. I have friends here, and they're not here today, but every once in a while, there's a guy. He's known. I haven't paid taxes since 2001. He actually signed some of the documents and signed some of the mailing certificates because back in the day I was using notarial protest and I was also using documents that made it so that they couldn't say that they didn't get it because there was a third party there that attested to the fact that the thing had been mailed. And I have those forms, and you should have those forms too. All right, but again, like I said, when it comes to the forms, if you use their forms, you are de facto, by default, recognizing their authority. So what you need to do is make your own forms, as it were, and tell them, and you can reference, like I said, you can reference their forms in there. But like, hey, I have the right to travel. So I, travel documents, which would be a passport. Here's all the information you need. Here's my name. Here's my birth. Here's where I live. Here's blah, blah, here's my address. Here's the contact person that if something happens to me that you can get in contact with. Here's all this stuff, blah, blah, and I need the proper right. And that, by the way, that and you might even put the form in there and give them limited power of attorney if they need to sign forms for you. And see, that's the thing. When you rescind and again, this isn't for everybody. Some people want to be United States corporation people. You want to be U.S. persons. There's all kind of benefits and privileges that could kind of sort of take care of you with Social Security and all that kind of stuff. But for those of you that's not an option, that you want to be free men and free women, you can't just sit there and go, I'm a free man and free woman, right? In your house, nobody else knows. You got to let other people know. And they have to recognize you. So you have to introduce yourself. And the way you introduce yourself is either like this, hi, pleased to meet you, or by putting your thoughts via words that the sounds that I'm making have symbols associated with them that I can put on paper that I can send to people and let them know. Right? And they use all of that. Oops, I don't have that here either. What books do I have here? I was going to use, crap, I'll go grab a pile of books this high from the other room. The Chicago Manual of Style is going to be a good friend of yours, as it turns out. The regular dictionaries, but law dictionaries in particular, are going to be good friends of yours. Chain to the Sky, going to be a good book. That one that I showed you earlier, going to be a good book to understand. And they talk about very clearly that free will must be preserved. All governments are there to preserve free will, believe it or not. United States Corporation and United States of America and this United States, they have constitutions, and the reason those constitutions are there are they don't give you anything. The United States has nothing to fucking give you. nothing. Can't give you anything. Okay, that Constitution is there to preserve and protect, right, your rights. The rights that you already had, not the rights that they gave you. They didn't give you any fucking rights, right? What they did, or what they're supposed to do, is protect the rights that you have. That you have the right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. If you're not fucking around with anybody else, nobody else fucks around with you. And you've got this government to do it. If you're not bothering anybody and somebody comes and disturbs the peace, steps off the square, assaults you, and so forth, there's this other party that, and we can go down the list, it's a pretty long list. But anyway, you have the right to be in your house. They can't just bust in and take your bananas, right? They got to have a warrant for those bananas. Right? As simple as that. They can't, right? Okay. Fourth Amendment, Third Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth Amendment. All the stuff that we didn't put in here is reserved for the people or the states, right? And then there's another 12, 13 amendments after that. And we get to the 14th, things start to change and get a little muddy. But the idea was that document was there to protect the rights that you already had. But if you don't claim the rights, and if you give your rights away, and if they abrogate them every day, all the time, as much as they want. Do I get any money for this? No. But buy this book and read it. Wayne Jett. He's smarter than I am. Read this book. You realize just how badly they are fucking you. And your posterity, right? People that haven't even been born yet are being fucked by these people right now. Holy cow, you guys are just going to town over here. Yeah, there you go. Mostly I just laugh. Just laugh. Let it make you laugh. Just don't be sad. Be happy. Yeah, well, let's talk about that in just a bit. Here. Write this down so I remember. Oh, God damn it, I can't write. All right, and we'll come back to Chrissy Teigen and what's his name, John Legend and the baby. See, because what they do is, let me finish reading this and we'll talk about it. Yep. Not only do they seem to take issue, just mention Jesus while they're around, they get really pissy, right? Use that word Jesus. It's almost like a curse word to them. And that's exactly the case, my friends. See, you need to understand and be clear on the fact that if God stands with you, no one stands against you. No one. And the most they can do is get your flesh. But the idea is that these Satanists, and the most they can do is get your flesh. But the idea is that these Satanists, and there are Satanists, Saturnists basically, and they come in multiple flavors. Those that follow the Satan, those that follow the Lucifer, those that follow Moloch, those that follow Baal. Those are all Saturnists. Those are all the dark aspect. Those are all left-hand pathers. Those are all disgusting people who they delight in the suffering of others because the entities that they worship drink loosh. So, like, take Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. Like sadness, that's loosh. Anger, that's loosh. Fear, anxiety, that's loosh. They get a big following. And then they tell them that, oh, our baby died. And then you have all these people that are sad and unhappy and so forth. And the demons drink that like candy, like sugar water. Yeah, there you go. Not even that. Well, you shouldn't be, is the thing, right? Because what's the worst that can happen to you, right? They can take your flesh. They can take your body. But they can't take your free will, and they cannot make you go to hell. You can choose to go to hell, though, and you can choose through your actions to go to hell, as it were. And even then, what's hell? What's heaven? These are all constructs in the mind, and the mind is the creator of all things, right? What's step one in the Hermetic principles? Mentalism. That's why they figured out if they could chain your mind, if they could get control of your mind, they could control every fucking thing, right? Putting you in cage didn't work. Putting in cages didn't work. Branding you didn't work. Putting a collar on didn't work, right? It worked temporarily, but it didn't work over the long haul. And what usually happened was the retribution was hardcore. So the fact that they decided that they weren't going to do that anymore was actually a step up on their level, on their game plan. And what their game plan is, well, don't tell the slaves that they're slaves. Right? Call them different things. Confuse them with language. Use their language against them. Use their goodwill against them. Use their free will against them. Use their charitable instincts against them. Use their equity against them. Twist everything. That's what the demons do. That's what the Satanists do. That's what the Luciferians do. They are the deceivers. They tell you in no uncertain terms in every part of it, you gotta choose to be deceived. I have friends now that, I mean, it's becoming a deal breaker that they're still at this late date trying to tell me that Biden is a good choice and that Kamala Harris is a good choice. When all you have to do is take a look at the kind of things that they've done, and these are, bottom line, evil people. It's no longer just politics. It's no longer just Republican and Democrat. It's good and evil. Killing babies at the 9th month is evil. Putting people in prison that you know are innocent when you absolutely know, and there is, can I say it, exculpatory evidence? Evidence that shows that you're innocent. Ignoring that and putting people in jail anyway. Kamala Harris is guilty of this. That makes you an evil person. Period. Right? You are evil. You are not good. You are not right-hand path. You are left-hand path. You are service to self. You are using anything that you can to serve yourself, and you do not serve others. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who this guy is, but there you go. Yeah, there you go. They made being a vampire cool. See, the vampire story was supposed to warn you, right? That was supposed to be noticed. But yeah, now we've got this whole generation that wishes they were vampires, these little girls, and the fuck was that one called? I can't remember what that show was called. But I actually went to the movies to go see that. And do you see that there's another one? The movies theaters are closing down. I can't remember. I think it was Regal, just nationwide. They're closing their theaters. Because the time of programming us all at once in a dark room is coming to an end. They have gotten to the point where they can program you using the light and sound from this device or from the device that you constantly stare in. And I don't have one, by the way, that collar. Anyway, there it is. The mind is absolutely the only battlefield. The rest of it is played out here in the third dimension. But once they have this, they've got you. Right? And if you look around, you see how many of your friends, they've actually absolutely got their minds. Right? The woman that handed me these bananas. Absolutely, they have her mind. She watches mainstream media every day. She's scared to death of the Rona. Does not go out in public without a mask on. Absolutely has no issue with going into a store with a mask on. Right? I have absolute issue. In fact, to the point where if you want me to wear a mask, I'm not coming into your fucking store, except for like Costco. And then I put my plague doctor mask on. Right? Like I said, you have to be fun. Don't give them loosh. Don't be afraid. Right? Stop feeding the demons. Stop feeding the vampires. Stop feeding these other entities. Right? They want you unhappy. They want you sad. They want you fighting with your loved ones. They want you mad at your sister because she's a fucking Trumper or she's a Bidener or whatever. Right? Your own fucking sister or your own mother or your own brother or your own child or whatever. They want you fucking fighting. They eat that up. Right? So at the very least, if you can't, because there's a lot of people, I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand to look at them. Literally can't stand to look at them. Right? Okay. So just withdraw. Just remove yourself from the situation. Do not increase the sadness by making other people feel bad because they're fucking stupid. Pointing out that they're fucking stupid doesn't help. Like I said, you got to get them asking questions, right? Trying to berate them, trying to tell them that you're smarter than they are because of whatever authority that you're going to, the higher authority that is NBC News, or the higher authority that is fucking science that has been corrupted and paid for, bought and paid for, whatever it is. No, just get them asking questions. Right? Get it? What we're trying to do here. Oh, this is a matrix. This is a part of a Mobius strip. That is part of a torus. That is part of a. All right. What they're doing, what we're doing here is we are moving up this vibration. We're moving from this yellow stream to this green stream. We are moving from third density to fourth density. And these arrows show you how some of the bad guys get around it. Right? They get around this one. And notice how this one is. Anyway. But the idea, this is a T-shirt that is unique. It was made for me. There is no other T-shirt like this on the planet with the colors and so forth. The guy was fooling around with screens, and he just wanted to see if he could make it. Anyway, the point being is that here is the basically the heart chakra. It is the green. It is it is a frequency and vibration that your heart generates. It can be felt by others. There is the Heart Math Institute. There are other sciences that talk about this. And Tesla told you in no uncertain terms, frequency and vibration, and it's all about spin, baby, spin. All right, we are moving up on the because that was noticed. The whole vampires, that was noticed. But the whole idea is that we are moving up a scale, all of us, and they can't help it, right? Whether they are left-hand path or right-hand path, we're all being pushed forward. As I tell my sons constantly, this whole experience is to get you to progress. This whole experience it's all good. It's all here for you. The universe is not against you. Quit thinking that. If you believe that the universe is against you, okay, first off, it's not. But who am I? I'm just some guy on the internet that's saying this. But understand that the universe is there to support you in every fucking way, right? If you want to be sad, the universe will help you be sad. If you want to be happy, the universe will help you be. If you want to be prosperous, the universe will definitely prosper you. The other day, as my son and I worked for 4 hours, and at the end of it, there was an abundance of work left to be done, but we took abundance from abundance, and abundance remained. They have these, what do they call them? Mysterum, beautiful plant. But this plant was freaking out of control, and I just trimmed it back. And I took so much out of that plant, and when I was done, you could barely tell I was there, right? But you could see the huge pile that I had made. I took abundance from abundance, and abundance remained. The first law of nature is abundance. Okay. So if you want to be abundant, the universe will help you be abundant. If you want to live in lack and know what lack is like so that later on you can figure out what abundance is and you know the difference, the universe will help you do that. The universe is here to help you. Some of you don't like the word universe. You prefer God. Okay, use the word God. Some of you hate the word God and would rather use the word universe. Some people don't like either one of those words and come up with other language to describe the experience that we're in. But the bottom line is we are moving forward. The bad guy's moving forward. The good guy's moving forward. There's only one way to go. That is a progression. And that progression is a spiral, by the way. So when I talk about moving forward, if you take a circle, oh gee, that's not the right pen. Let's go with this pen. If you take a circle and you blow it up big enough, that part right there seems flat. Right? That's calculus, and I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, the bottom line is we're moving this way. We're moving around and around on this spiral, and we're spiraling up and up and up. All right, so we're moving from Pisces to Aquarius. As we move forward and as we move up this scale, the next thing on the octave scale is the heart chakra. Well, can you imagine that the demons vampires, evil ones, however you want to look at them, others who are on the left-hand path, they don't like this vibration right here. So they skip over the vibration by either jumping from yellow stream to yellow stream and then up to the next stream, which is this right here. And then the next thing is this, the crown, right? And then the overall, right? 7 different things there. If you study this, the Hindus and the Buddhists and many of the Eastern philosophies talk about the fact that there are chakras here in your palms, which can be used for healing. Those that know how to turn that energy on. And I know a woman here on Maui. She is a native Hawaiian kahuna. And I swear to God, when she puts her hands over you, it's like, it's the invisible force. It feels like a shower head, like maybe she's, right, but there's no water. She's just putting her hands on you. And when she puts her hands over you, and I knew one other healer like that too. His name was Kalua. He's a dead man now. But he taught me quite a bit about Kahuna Lapa'au and so forth. And I watched him take a woman that was in a wheelchair and told that she would never walk again because she had a horse accident. And by the time he was done with her, me and her went to the beach. Right? In the beginning of it, I had to hold her hand and she had to put her on. All right. But we walked onto the beach, and because swimming in the ocean was his part of his advice. And getting her to the beach was a problem because walking on sand was, right, and taking wheelchairs and so anyway. But I watched this man take this woman, Maren was her name, a German, and make it so that she could walk. She could walk again. All right. So when it comes to that kind of healing, yeah, right. I've seen it with my own eyes. So when I see Western medicine doctors tell me that it's all bullshit, well, I have experience. So I don't have to believe. I know, right? And that's the difference between Gnostics and believers. But anyway, the idea is that and he talked about that energy and the right, and certainly he didn't talk about it in these terms. But when I listened to him, he's fucking talking about the same thing. And this is it's just he's using different language and different, but he's talking about the same thing. And what he's talking about is the experience of the base energy in the genitalia and the bottom here, that red energy, that core root chakra, right, which can be left-hand path or right-hand path, depending on how it's used, and moving all the way up to that whole, right? And then the idea that this one right here, the indigo, the voice, yeah, it's how we cast spells. It's how, right, when we write stuff down, we're spelling the sounds that we make. So you use that spelling, you use those sounds to introduce yourself and to exercise your free will here. There's the Sufi goofy way of looking at it, not the pieces of paper and all the documents that you have to write. But the idea is that, yes, it's all about frequency and vibration. Tesla told you this, Feynman told you this, everybody fucking told you this, anybody in the sciences, all the philosophers. You talk to any physicist, right? Guys that are physicists, like guys that I respect, they're all weird. They're all, because they got to the edge and looked over. And they saw that, yeah, you can't explain everything that goes on here using mathematics in its current form. But anyway, the idea is that they've learned to skip over this heart chakra, get to the voice and get up to the higher levels without engaging the heart. So they can use mentalism and so forth without engaging the heart. They can use mentalism to split the atom. And then, of course, the atom comes back and vaporizes us. But they can use that knowledge to create insane weaponry that you can't even conceive of now. I mean, the stuff that you know about in Japan that we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki is minuscule compared to what we have now. And we've taken the technology further when it comes to accelerating particles, not just splitting atoms and so forth. Now we figured out how to just accelerate the things, directed energy weapons, and there's other names for that, but particle accelerators and so forth, that apparently are in use, and we don't even recognize it because they don't give us. Trump has given us clues in some of his speeches talking about the weaponry that we have. But you're right. He's not going to tell you what that weaponry is and the specifics about that. Just understand that, we have a space force, and that space force can be directed back at us. Simple. And the idea, holy cow, some people are writing, going, Gore comes into the picture. I couldn't tell you. Oh man, you've gotten to the point where now I'll read it afterwards because there's too much stuff here. Anyway, like I said, some of you guys need to take the stuff that you write over there and put it underneath because that actually helps the video get when there's engagement. And hitting the like and subscribe buttons and so forth. What am I up to? I'm like 1,730 subscribers. Woohoo! And that's why I'm allowed. Because 1,700, they don't care. That's not enough to make a difference in their opinion, right? I talk about the 100 monkey, but 1,730 subscribers isn't going to do it. But see, if I had 100,000 subscribers, they would have shut this channel off by now, right? If I had 1 million subscribers, they'd have shut me up a long time ago. And I'd have to get off and try to go. BitChute actually is the place to go. I like BitChute. It's just the fact that loading videos up on BitChute is a pain in the ass, as opposed to YouTube has made it easy. BitChute needs to make it easier. But and I don't know if that's because of the way. Anyway, the idea being is that when you engage and like and subscribe and put comments and so forth, there's a chance, scotch, that other people might see this video. But for the most part, this is beyond, as you know. You can't show this to grandma. You can't show this to a quote unquote noob. They'll just be, oh, that guy's crazy, and dismiss it, right? And that's how they protect their cognitive dissonance and how they protect the fact that they've been tricked and fooled. But the idea is, yeah, there you go, right? And see, and they're at the point where they're so fucking brazen where they don't even have to tell you why anymore. I think, what was it, Jordan Slater? He was saying, or Jordan Slater, or however you say that guy's name. That guy, he was talking about MMS and talking about all kind of other stuff. First time they banned his Twitter account, they at least let him know that they banned his Twitter account. The next time they banned his Twitter, they didn't let him know. They just banned it. No way to try to get it back, no anything. Same thing with a lot of people on YouTube where they don't even fucking tell you. They just banned it. Right? I believe now I can post I can post on Facebook again. I'm pretty sure I can. I haven't tried because I'm out of the habit. I haven't been there for 30 days. But yeah, 30-day bans. And I know another guy, interesting fellow, he said, what did he say? He said the Rona was a false flag. They banned him for 30 days. That's it. He made a status update that said it's not fake. It's a false flag. There's a difference. And they fucking banned him for 30 days. Because you're not allowed to see that. Right? See, and this is the other thing. People in authority are now overstepping their authority, and they don't understand. They're so self-unaware that they don't get the fact that they're showing true colors. And many, many people, not just the 14 that are here and the others that'll watch this later, have figured out that, yeah, you've overstepped your authority. You can't tell me what to say. It's the First Amendment. See, that document was supposed to, the Constitution, those things that we're talking about, that was one of the first things that they talked about. You have the right to speak freely, right? The thought police, right? You were warned about the thought police. We call them fact checkers now. And see, I had fact checkers where I do mathematics, and what they put in their fact check was absolutely anathema to just basic mathematics. Above all, right? Above everything, beyond all the bullshit that they taught you in school, the mathematics is used for prediction. That's why it's magic. The mathematics is above all predictive in nature. If you can spot patterns, if you can see something doing this, well, you can pretty much sure it, right? And now it might do that, but if you can see something that does this, it's a waveform that does this, you can be pretty sure that it's going to continue to do that. Above all, mathematics is predictive. And this is a bad example, but I mean, right? Okay, so they're trying to say that, oh, well, you know, studying the Rona numbers doesn't tell you how likely it is that you're going to get Rona in the future. Yeah, actually it does. And the fact that it's 99% survivable tells me that if you are a regular person, yes, I can predict that if you get the Rona, it won't kill you. Right? I am very confident that Trump is going to be fine. In fact, I will wager with anybody that Trump is going to be fine. You know, anyway, and it's great because that whole thing has now turned a bunch of people into just the most heinous, ugly people wishing death on the president. Okay. from the Rona. Again, when it comes to, say, Obama and Clinton and the other Clinton and Bush and a bunch of these other people that you've never heard of, they're going to die. I'm not happy about it, but they're going to die. They're going to be taken out one way or the other. And like I said, if you are decent people, and you are, what's coming in the coming months and years is going to make you sick to your stomach. But there's killing that needs doing, and it's going to happen. And I wish it didn't need to happen. See, that's the difference. But it's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. And see, the United States corporation has the right to defend itself, and they're going to flip the switch where they don't, where their deodens and their old school law, because these are all secured third parties. These are all people that are already out of the system that I'm talking about. These are all people that have already done the paperwork required and have been recognized by other powers that be that they're not chattel property of U.S. corporation. It's just painful that people believe that chattel property of U.S. corporation are the people that rule U.S. corporation, and that chattel property of U.S. corporation chooses said rulers. God bless it all. Fuck. I cannot get over how stupid people are. And see, it's getting to the point now where I see, and I know you watch this, Alex, do not turn on your fellow man. Yes, they are fucking stupid. Yes, they are ignorant slaves, and you must have compassion for them anyway. And yes, you want to help them ascend. You are not on Bill Gates' side. You are not, right? You are not on the side of the eugenicists. Do you understand that fucking humans, all of us, all the humans fit in Rhode Island? All the fucking humans on this planet, we fit in Rhode Island. If we were standing and there'd be space between us, not piled on top of each other, you don't have babies on your shoulders. I mean, all the humans, all the fucking humans, all of us fit in a space, Rhode Island, and there'd be space between us, right? Like, say you're standing in a crowd, like at a concert or something, you know how you're packed in there? You're not like pushed up against, but I mean, you're close together, very close together. Yeah, all of us, right? Black, white, see, and there ain't no black and white. Caucasians, fair-skinned, dark-skinned, Asians, Africans, Pacific Islanders, fucking Aborigines, Eskimos, every fucking person on this planet, excuse me, man or woman or child on this planet fits in Rhode Island. Now, you want to house all of these people? A city with a population density of New York houses all the humans in an area smaller than Texas. Right? The eugenicists have lied to you and lied to you and lied to you and lied to you. Right? They've told you that there's too many humans. They've told you all these bullshit stories. And now there are those that are getting to the point where, yeah, fucking get rid of the useless eaters. Right? These mask-wearing fucking idiots that try to tell you that the government has the authority to tell you what to do and that you can't go to the beach and that you can't sing in church and all that other shit. Still, you must have compassion. Take no shit. But you cannot become, right? That's taking the left-hand path, guys. Right? And I'm just as frustrated as any of you. I'm just as frustrated as any person here when it comes to, see, and that's the game you're playing. But no, we don't want to get rid of the innocent, useless eaters, these infant children that are stupid and ignorant and will wear a mask when they're driving alone in the car. No, we don't want to get rid of them. Yeah, they piss me off, and yeah, they've affected me because now, right now, I would love to travel. There are fucking deals like crazy going on right now. There's all-inclusives going on in Mexico for fucking no money. Although the all-inclusives in Mexico are not as much fun as they used to be because I'm not going to sit there. I remember back in the day, near the turn of the century, where I went to Mexico, and I think I stayed drunk for at least 2 weeks. Right? I figured out that you don't want to sober up. You sober up, it hurts, so just stay drunk. Anyway, things have changed in 20 years. But see, and going to an all-inclusive now, it wouldn't be as much fun because I wouldn't just be sitting there pounding fucking margaritas and tequilas and Mai Tais and oh my God. Anyway, and having chicks, beautiful fucking crazy women pouring alcohol in your mouth and taking shots out of there. Anyway. Mexico was fun. Absolutely, it was fun. And right now, but I could probably go down there and engage in gluttony and just freaking eat off the buffets until you can't see straight, and all kind of crazy sugar treats. And if you don't want the sugar treats, they've got roast beef and crab legs and all kind of stuff. And I can't go there because I'm not going to put a mask on, and I'm not going to fucking submit to a test so that I can travel down to. Right, but I mean the tourist industries around the world, same Asia. Right? Back the last time they pulled this shit, and they didn't get quite this crazy with H1N1, China was super cheap. Well, not China, but Hong Kong. And so a friend of mine and we went to Hong Kong for no fucking money. Right? Stayed in 5-star hotels, ate crazy food, stayed there for like 2 weeks, and came home for, I don't know, we probably didn't spend $2,000. Anyway. Point being is that the idiots are absolutely causing pain to people that are sane and sober, but you still can't wish them death, for fuck's sake. You want to wish them is that they wake up and that they move down this path and that they become more enlightened. Not that you get rid of them. That's the left-hand path. Is this crazy talk? I mean, are you understanding that, right? And I do. I see a lot of people that are getting frustrated to the point where and that's where they want you. The bad guys are winning. The deceivers have won if they get you into that mindset where you want to kill off your fellow man. Right? Because they're a Democrat, or because they're a Republican, or because they don't believe like you believe, or because they are afraid of the Rona, or because they tell you that you should wear a mask so that you can protect them, and that if you are, what is it? The way that these virtue signaling cunts are trying to tell you that you wear a mask because you care about others, right? Or you wear a mask because you don't want other people to get sick. Well, am I supposed to do push-ups for you so you don't get fat? Do I get to fucking knock that? Right? There's this video. I love this guy. He's fucking buff. Right? This is a big black dude, and he just walks around being a complete dick. It's hilarious. Where like there's a fat guy in the I don't know what it was, some fast food restaurant. Maybe it was McDonald's or some chain. And he just walks in there and fucking slaps the burger and fries out of his hands and start, right? And then he's on the street and there's a big black, and that dude was bigger than him, smoking a cigarette, and he fucking knocks the cigarette out of his hand, and right? Okay. It's designed to be funny, and I find it funny. But see, that's the attitude you got to take. Really, am I supposed to do that? Is that because if I got to wear the mask, then I get to fucking knock the sandwich out of your hand, right? I get to knock the sugar out of your hand. I get to fucking knock that donut and coffee out of and cigarette out of your fucking hand too, right? To protect your fucking health, right? And I get to stuff your face full of vitamin D and vitamin A because I can tell you that vaccines, masks, and isolation and staying home are probably not as healthy as eating good food, hugging your children, hugging your grandparents, shaking hands and embracing your friends when you see them in public, eating decent food, taking vitamin D and vitamin C, getting sun, getting exercise, getting in the fucking water if you're in a place where you can get in the water and do some exercise that way, and generally feeling good. No, what you're supposed to do is fucking stay home and cower, put a mask on, and wait for a vaccine. All right. Like I said, the idea here, and it's time for me to quit, but the idea here is that, if you fall down that path where you're like, yay, Bill Gates, and yay, get these guys, right? Because I do it on Facebook and stuff all the time. I tell these fucking people, go get your vaccine. Make sure to get your vaccine. I'm halfway kidding, but that's left-hand path. And see, some of these guys, and I've seen this now as a meme, is that it absolutely shows. You can tell the fuckers that would, if they told you that you need to get into that boxcar to take you to the Rona isolation camp for your safety, there's a lot of people on team quarantine that would fucking hop in the boxcar. And you wonder how they did it to the Jews. It was a slightly different mindset, but it was the same principle in Germany. And it was the same concept. The powers that shouldn't be understood that the fucking Prussian Empire was in their way. We call the Prussians the Germans now, but that Prussian Empire, that was a free people. That was right? And they understood the concept of military and authoritarianism and a society that was polite. And they were in fact spiraling up. And the fucking powers that be couldn't have that and got rid of them using the Jew story. Right? And to this day, the Germans will never rise up into, right? There was a time when nobody went to war with Prussia without regret. Right? In fact, you just straight up didn't go to war with Prussia, because if you did, you knew you were going to lose. So anyway, okay, same thing with the United States right now. Right? We have the weaponry, we have the population, we have the guns, we have the clubs. We win. You don't beat us. So asymmetrical warfare. So the Manchurians understood that there's no way to invade that place. There's 100 fucking million guns over there. 49% of the guns on the planet are in the United States of America. That area, the northern continent, the continent of North America, because we got to start getting clear with our language when it comes to the United States, right? And you need to understand, you ain't black and you ain't white, especially when it comes to understanding what those. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig for it down there, and I was gonna hold up a dictionary, but black just means you ain't got no standing. So you need to understand you might be a Moor. There might be other designations you can give yourself, Caucasian, etc. But you ain't black or white. You are not. Good God, you guys are just going to town. I'll read these afterwards. Super Skunk, never seen you before. Hey, Super Skunk. I love the handles. I love especially the cool handles. Yeah. Anyway, the point being is that you can't. Okay, so you're on this path. Some of us, and I don't claim to be one of them, by the way. I don't claim to be one of these indigo children or some spirit that's been to the higher densities and coming back to shepherd or what. None of that. I'm just some fucking guy that woke up and went, oh, fuck. The demons seem to be in control. Now what? That's where I am. The past, do I believe that I've been before? Absolutely. Absolutely. That was right. My whole family, my whole life, I've never heard anything but that. Right. The concept of one lifetime, one time, not even part of the program ever, as far as I'm right. Okay. So I come from people of strange beliefs when it comes to United States Corporation, because many of the people in United States Corporation, these U.S. persons, think that this is their first time here, and that I don't know where they think they came from, but at the end of it, there's some guy named Jesus that's going to tell them whether they get to go to heaven or whether they get to go to hell, and that has nothing to do with them. Basically, they're going to get judged by another. All right, fine. That's not how I came up. That's not the way I was brought up. But the idea being is that you thinking that yeah, maybe we should get rid of these useless eaters, and yeah, the population is too much for this planet to handle, and somehow we're causing global warming, that it's us that's responsible for the die-offs that are going off on a lot of these animals. And it is a lot of times when it comes to pollution and radiation, but there's a lot of other energetic things going on when it comes to the sun and forces that you can't see, just like wind. You're going to try and tell me that wind doesn't exist because you can't see it? This is me trying to describe wind. Right? This is not what wind looks like, right? This is not what the thing looks like, but this is us trying to conceptualize the concept of moving forward on this path, right? Or moving up on this path. Or maybe you like the concept of moving down on the path, however you want to look at it. There is a, right? Because I can continue this matrix on, and it will go red here, orange, yellow, green, right? Right? And then this matrix is part of a torus. Which is why it gets so confusing to us. Can't remember the guy's name. You see his face. Some of the modern physicists. I can't even do it. I can't even draw one. Anyway, it's this torus. It's this toroid. It's that donut. And this strip right here would be like one of these strips right here. And it turns out to be a Mobius strip in that thing, and I can do it well, right? Because it's much. I can't even do it. And then this thing spins, and I'm trying to draw a donut here, and it's not working. But anyway, there's another time that I'm done on the fly here. Can I do it? I can't do it. It's kind of like an apple. Or kind of like, right? But this thing is a toroid that spins and that has just drips, and it's infinite and huge and wondrous and awesome, and I can't describe it in words and math, and I certainly can't draw pictures of it. I have to spend some time trying to draw a picture of it. But anyway, this is a strip of it, and it's a Mobius strip, which is an infinite thing. You never, it's a one-sided piece of paper. Have you seen a Mobius strip? All right, so anyway, the idea that we're moving up on this strip, they can't help it. They're moving up too. You see, what they're trying to do is get you to shut this one down. Thinking that you would like to see large numbers of these mouth-breathing, mask-wearing, Democrat, idiot, fucktardian, deceived idiots die is not right-hand path, is not heart shot. You have to have compassion for these people. You have to want them to attain enlightenment. You have to want them to have good things in life. You have to want them to have love and understanding with their children and families so that they're happy. Because if they're happy, you're happy. Because if they're abundant, you're abundant. Because if the planets and animals on this planet are abundant, you are abundant. Okay, but falling into that thing where you want to get rid of your fellow man because they're stupid, and they are, is you succumbing to the left-hand path. See what you're doing. So it's a test. And see, I don't like to talk about it as a test. You're not in school. You're here. This is in fact, though, the proving ground. So now you are being given opportunity to forgive. You are being given opportunity to love your fellow man, even when they fucking make you crazy. Right? And what happened to me and how I got there, I don't know if I'm there, because fuck, I'll tell you that I got some friends that are pissing me the fuck off with their just sheer, utter fucking stupidity, right? Like I said, I can barely stand to fucking even look at them. So I just don't go around them, right? I don't go, because I'm not going to go fight with them, right? I mean, I'm not going to have arguments, and like some of them, it would become the fisticuffs because they're local boys, and that's the way they talk, right? Is using these things. Others of them, it's just intellectual, and you just have conversation over tea or beers or whatever, and I still can't fucking stand to even talk. All right, so you just remove, but you don't wish them dead. For fuck's sake, people. Right? Wish them dead. For fuck's sake, people. Right? What you want is to wish them enlightenment. What you want is you wish that they would wake up. And so what? You're going to not help kill them. You're not going to help fucking wipe them off the face of the earth. What you're going to do is trying to help and raise their consciousness. How are you going to do that? By giving them information and telling them that you're smarter than them, or by trying to get them to ask questions. Right? That's the 100th monkey effect. Right? Socratic method. Socrates. Right? It's Socrates. Just like it's not Clairdesis. If you walk into a courtroom saying Clairdesis, seriously, fuck you. You are going to get reamed because the judge will know that you're an idiot. But the idea being is that what you want to do is try to raise consciousness on the planet. Raising their consciousness helps raise your consciousness because the way this thing works. And there are others, like I said, they don't give a fuck about us. The only reason why, right? They don't care. See, and this is the thing. What's worse than that? And see, I have a couple of exes that realize that I don't love them. I don't hate them. I just don't care. That's the worst. Indifference is the worst, right? But the idea is these guys are indifferent, but they understand that and they can't, because we are karmically connected, if you want to say, because we are tethered, they can't go forward until they get us, right? This line is going to drag them back. Until we get to there, until we move forward, then they can move forward, right? They're not here because they love us. Although some of them will try and trick you into thinking that they're magnanimous and they don't fucking give a fuck about us. They don't give a flying fuck on a rolling donut about us. What they do, they're selfish. See, and this is how selfishness benefits us, because their selfishness means that if they want to progress, we got to progress. Right? So if you want to progress, your dumbass friends have to progress. Get it? All right, so the idea is, how are you going to get your friends to progress? Well, you got to get them asking questions. You got to educate them, right? You got to lead by example. You got to get out from underneath the whore of Babylon, right? You got to get your paperwork in. You got to declare yourself a man or a woman. Step one. You got to do the things that you need to do to get out from under the whore of Babylon. So you lead by example. And if they laugh at you and if they can't understand it because they went to slave school, that's fine. But you don't let that make it so that you're mad at them. You don't make that so that you get a fucking divorce. I've seen this. Or that you disown your own fucking children. Or you quit talking to your own mother, the person that fucking gave birth to you. Right? You wouldn't be here. There is no one is here. I am here because a woman gave me permission to be here. And that woman had had abortions previous to that. Right? So those guys didn't get to come. Or maybe it was me, and I don't know. But anyway, the idea being is that no fucking buddy is here without the permission of a woman. So the woman that gave you permission to be here, yeah, you might want to honor her. Right? Just saying. And some of them, I understand. I have friends who have alcoholic mothers. I have friends who have, yeah, those women are horrifying people, and I understand, right? So they have separated themselves from those people. But the reason for separation is not because of ideas, is not because of the Rona, is not because of Trump and Biden. It's because of other affairs. And trying to get rid of them like this, well, you're still not going to advance. Simple as that. Because now you're totally fine. All right. So the idea is that yeah, it's one thing, like this whole thing. Let's do that. Yeah, this whole thing is one thing. And this whole thing is just an idea anyway. Again, this is not how the energy looks. This is not how the wind looks. This is not how the chakra system looks. But this is how we conceptualize it and try to explain it to each other. And try it, right? Because you'll see the picture of the. And then you, right? And then, oh, do I have all of them here? Yes, I do. Here's the root chakra. I'll use this in the throat. Need to go for the throat. Here's that next one up. Here, well, see, it's too far down. I screwed up already. Anyway, this is supposed to. We'll have to get closer. This is supposed to be like right below your navel. And then there's another one right here. And then where did I put it? I don't have it. Yes, I do. And then there's this one over here. That's your heart. All right, so now I can make it better. But see, it's off. My drawing is off. But, all right. And then what? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the one we're moving to. We're moving from here to there. See, because it's as above, so below. It's the whole thing. And then what? I have I'm missing one, the purple one, which is the crown up here. Nope, that's green. Oh, yeah, I don't have a purple pen. I had a purple pen. There's blue. There's the. This might be a better one. Yeah, I like that. Suddenly, I don't have a purple pen around here. Anyway, there's a purple one that goes up here, and then there's the crown chakra that's up here. All right, so that's one way. Is that how it looks? I don't think that's how it looks. That's certainly not what we see with our eyes. When I don't see this when I look at another person. All right, but the idea being is that we're moving up this scale, and it's an infinite scale. Once we get to there, it happens over again in a different kind of body, from what I understand. All right, so the idea is, from my reading and from talking to others that are channeled and blah blah blah. Okay, do I know this is the case? For some of it, I have an absolute knowing. Right, I'm not a believer. Because of mathematics, I don't believe a lot of things. But there's some things that I know. And one of the things that I know is this ain't it. And what I also understand from that knowing is that you cannot wish upon others, right? 3 things. Love self, right? Love others. Forgive self, forgive others. We are being given, so many opportunities to practice these 2 things, right? And I was going to say, when it came to my sons, I figured out, do I love one boy more than I love the other boy? No, I love both boys. I might love this boy, quote unquote, differently than I love that boy, but I could never choose between my sons. Do I love my boys more than I love my woman? It's a different kind of love for my woman than my boys, but, right? Okay, but the idea being is that that's all this thing right here. Right? And when my sons fuck up, and they do fuck up because they're little boys and they break shit and they do shit that boys do, do I, okay, well, now I don't love you anymore because you broke my favorite cup? Right? Or now I don't love you anymore because you put a dent in the car? Or now I don't love you anymore because whatever the fuck it is, like I said, anyway, They're boys. They do shit, right? If you have dishes that you like, don't have them around little boys because they're gonna break them. It's as simple as, and if they don't break them, they'll chip them. So anyway, but the idea being is, and that's just really, is that the condition for loving your children? Is that they don't break stuff? Okay. So the idea being is that you're being given every opportunity to practice moving into this, and then to be able to go further. But the idea is that, so you're we're moving up a density, and you don't get to move up if you are not able to practice love and forgiveness. And then the final thing, and this is what Ike, David Wilcock, Seth, Ra, name them, all of them. They talk about this part, left-hand path, right-hand path, the part about where you are service. This is self, this is others. Service to self, service to others. Turns out, in the beautiful thing that is our incarnation and in this universe, you can't serve others without serving yourself. However, you can serve self and not serve others. Right? So even people like Jeff Bezos, that one comes back because it's Amazon and he makes all this money and so forth, but he gives service to others. Right? But then you see that he takes the money. Does he solve? You know how many people on this planet just don't have clean water and die from not drinking clean water? It's a crazy amount, and it's going to be more. Oh, do I want to talk about that? Yeah, I guess I'll talk about that, and then I'll quit. We're already 2:31. I can't believe they haven't cut me off. Anyway, the concept that going forward, they're going to use the ponies. They're going to use pestilence is the threat that they're using now, but famine is coming. And I mean famine. About 3.5 years, 4 years from now, it's going to start, and then there's going to be a period of about 7 years, I'm going to say. And this comes from, where'd it go? Comes right out of this book right here. And see, I'll put a link down there. There is a script here, and I can't figure out whether they're following the script, they're writing the script, or what's going on here. Because they're, like I said, these people are so religious, they'll sacrifice their own firstborn. So they believe what's in this book, and they believe the prophecy that's in this book. But they're in a position to make the prophecy self-creating. Okay, so in other words, it says blah, 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 blah is supposed to happen. So they read it and they go, okay, then that's supposed to, and then they make that happen with their billions of dollars and their ability to control many minds using the media and so forth. And they cause the things that this thing talks about to happen when it comes to the stock market, when it comes to gold and silver, when it comes to economies, when it comes to rising and falling of nations and so forth. They make those things happen. Or are they happening no matter what? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say here is like whether they did it or not, it's just going to happen, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I've read many stuff about, especially in the Roman times. It's interesting, and it's the same fucking guys. It's the same program. It's the same Romans and their bonding system of slavery. And like I said, they just figured out, don't fucking tell the slaves that they're bonded and everything's good. Right? Anyway, the idea is that these guys seem to be, and they're Bill Polny or whatever his name is, he was just on Gregg Hunter, is nailing it when it comes to predicting things that are going to happen in the future based on the stuff in this book. Why? Because the guys that he's talking about, the powers that shouldn't be, are reading from the same script. They have the same script. They use the same book, and he's figured out how to translate it. And he's got a 40-page PDF that talk and see. And oddly enough, I was familiar with pretty much everything in there because as a child, I was taught what was in this book, especially when it came to the prophecies and when it came to, well, not especially, but I mean, that was one of the things that I was interested in because, you know, the toads and anyway, he turning out to be the 10 nations and the whole thing that they try to, they're going to try and put this thing together that certain things ought not to be joined. It says it in there. Paper and flesh ought not to be joined. Man and woman, yes, can be joined. But paper and flesh, clay and gold, certain things are not meant to be joined. Anyway, the point is that we are moving up this scale. The way you move up the scale and the way you get into the higher densities, love, forgiveness, and service. That's it. Right? I could just as easily be holding up this book. It says the same. Right? This is completely different than that holy book. There's another book I can hold up, and it says the same. And there's another book I can hold up that comes from India, and it says the same. This is it. Can't love yourself. Can't love others unless you love yourself. Can't forgive others unless you forgive yourself. Can't serve others unless you serve yourself. Well, can't serve yourself unless you serve others. Right? It's that simple. And then, it takes that much to explain it. Right? It takes that much to explain it. But the idea being is that, wait. Now we get esoteric. You guys want to get esoteric, motherfuckers? I can do it. This book says the same thing. And this is some crazy, these are physicists that were channeling this entity from, right? Okay, the raw material, okay. But it says the same. Love, forgiveness, service. You in Sunday school, that's the point of the Sunday school. Right? And now, the beautiful thing is, you got a whole week to go practice. And then you come back on a Sunday, and right, it doesn't have to be here, but in your congregation or wherever you're at, if you're with a group of like-minded individuals, maybe you talk about it, maybe you fellowship, maybe you drink some libations and have a good time and feel good and sing songs, and then you go back out and back into the world and practice love, forgiveness, and service. And you can become very, very wealthy. Nobody said that you have to be poor serving others, right? But you could take that money, and like I said, Bezos could just as easily make it so that many, many millions of people, don't have to worry about clean water, right? So could the Waltons, so could Buffett, so could Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates is instead vaccines. How about clean water, Bill? How about a fucking meal in their bellies? Why teach them how to farm? Teach them how to turn that desert green. No. Right? Okay, but that's the idea. So why don't you get to the point where you can make a difference? And if you can't make a difference for millions, how about you make a difference for one person? Right? And then you go out and do it again. And then you tell that person to pay it forward. Right? I'm not going to talk about it because the things that I've done, as soon as you start talking about it, it kind of diminishes the things. But I have fed people that didn't have food. I have given people that places to sleep when they didn't have a place to sleep. And I've done all manner of things, right? I didn't do it for them. I did it for me. See, that's the thing that you want to become selfish. Right? I didn't do it because, right? I did it because it made me feel good, not because of them. So you need to flip the thing around and understand this is it. This is all there fucking is. We are moving along, and they're going to drag you along kicking and screaming. And if you don't raise your vibration high enough, when the time comes, you don't get to progress. Simple. So you want to stay, and it's fine. And again, it's fine. No judgment, right? This is it's another lovely day. There's beach and mountain and all kind of stuff to do in Hawaii. I don't know where you are, but I'm sure there's recreation that you could do if your governor lets you. Put your mask on, go hiking. Fuck. Anyway, the point being is that, in this dimension, it's a beautiful thing. It's a gorgeous thing. I mean, like the sunset we had just a couple of days ago is like fucking crazy. Like just blow your mind beautiful. And you try to take pictures of it and it just doesn't even do it justice. Right? And we've had some pretty awesome sunrises also lately. And like I said, it's a lovely place to be. So if you don't progress into the quote-unquote next dimension, this ain't so bad. Right? And the thing that's cool about this dimension, if you talk to the people that are doing the rainbow body, that's another book I got to buy and show you guys. But the fact that the Tibetans are actually doing rainbow body and they can document it, and 5 ways from Sunday, there's no question these people are progressing out of this dimension. The idea is that if that's the way you want to go, you can do that. If you want to stay here and fuck around and do drugs and have sex, and you can do that. If you want to be more spiritually enlightened than that, you can do that. It's an infinite number of infinite possibilities in any given moment. But the idea is we are moving from Pisces to Aquarius, and what the shit that happened in Pisces and the way it was in Pisces is not how it works in Aquarius. And those people that are stuck in the Pisces mind are having a bad time because they're seeing the edifice that they built be destroyed. And I'm talking about the powers that be. They know they're losing. They know, and that's why they're doing extra sacrifices, and they're doing all manner of extra ugly shit to try and appease their masters, appease these other entities that in the past had given them dark magic and the ability to operate in this third dimension however they pleased. That's coming to an end, and we are going to level up. Well, not everybody. Some are going to level up, and some aren't. Okay, try to be one of the ones that levels up, or not. And then feel bad for the ones that don't level up, because there is going to be a lot that get left behind. They're making choices as we speak. Right? They've been given choices, and you're seeing them choose the wrong thing. Choose the abortion. Choose the drugs. Choose the to believe in people that have done horrifying things. Choose to not do anything about child traffic. Choose to not even raise their voice about child traffic. Choose to discriminate, denigrate people like Paris Hilton and others that have finally decided to break the silence and come forward and speak about the atrocious things that have been going on because of these fucking Saturnists. Right? But there's a large group that won't even give them the time of day. Will actually not, and okay, fine, ignore them, but go to the point where you actually ridicule them. Go to the point where you actually fuck with them on Twitter or on social media, right? Tell them that they're drug users, or that they're addled, or that they're out of their minds, and that there's no such thing as satanic pedophiles. Even though these people have seen it with their own eyes, I have not seen it with my own eyes. My closest is third party. I know people who know people. Right? I don't know anybody personally that's died of Rona, but I know one person that knows one person that died of Rona. Other than that, I don't know anybody. Right? That's the closest I have. I know people that know people that know people, or claim to, that have died of Rona. But in the whole fucking nation, only 10, 12,000 of us in a nation of 331 million, 10,000. Do the fucking math. You know how few? I mean, anyway, it's a rarity. But I know people that have lost their jobs. I know people that no longer have a place to work. I know people that are really, really concerned about not having a place to live. I know people that killed themselves because their businesses went to hell over this. But the idea being is that, as I've said in each one of these Sunday schools, there's going to be casualties. Your job is not to be a casualty. Your job is to make it easier for yourself and others to progress. Your job is to make it so that when the time comes, and the time is coming, you know how to grow food. If you don't know how to grow food, you've been clever and put food aside in freeze-dried back, and so you can feed yourself and your loved ones. And maybe after you put the mask on yourself, right? And I'm talking about when you're in an airplane and the thing's crashing, you put the oxygen on yourself before you put the oxygen on your children or your other loved ones, right? Take care of yourself, then you can take care of others. So once you're taken care of, you've got your gold and silver handle, you've got your silver, you've got your meals and, rats taken care of, rations when it comes to prepping and so forth. And you've got it secure, and you've got it in a place where the government can't fucking get to it. Then you can start talking about taking care of your friends and others. But the idea is that we're going from A to B, and not everybody's getting to B. That's just how it is. That's how it's always going to be. And some of you fucking Pollyannas out there who are thinking that, no, everybody should make it, and it's not fair. Not every egg turns into a chick, and not every chick turns into a chicken. Simple. Same thing. Not all of us are going to come out of the chrysalis as butterflies. Some of them are going to die in the chrysalis. Some of them are never going to get to the chrysalis. Right? Okay. Your job is to get from A to B and take as many with you as you can. That's your job. That's the job of the 100th monkeys. That's the job of the Polny, the torchbearers. That's the job of those that are here to let you know that we're going with or without you. Right? So you want to come. You don't want to come, it's fine too. It's all good. But don't be thinking that you can sit in one place and right in the middle of the street and not get hit by a car, because right. So you need to move. You either need to cross the street or you need to get in a car and travel. But you can't just sit there and hope that everything's going to be okay, because not everything is going to be okay. Paperwork to be done. People that need to recognize you. Declarations to be made. Preparations to be made now. Understanding that you have, there's stuff to do, folks. Right? Lots and lots of stuff to do. Part of that, believe it or not, is doing nothing. My favorite thing that happened this week is that my oldest boy, I got him up early because, like I said, we're going to go do some work, get some job, go make $20 an hour. Can't believe he's fucking 15, he's making $20. No, I remember when I used to think, if I could make $100 in a day, I'd be fucking rich. Right, $100 in a day, because at the time I think minimum was $2.50 an hour. That's how old I am, right? And this boy making $20 in an hour, and for a little while there, he could take his $20 in an hour and trade it for a piece of silver. Right, not anymore. That's happened in his lifetime. He can no longer take an hour of his labor and trade it for an ounce of silver. It takes now 2 hours of his labor to get an ounce of silver. But even that's going to be crazy going forward. There's going to be I'm looking at. I'll just come out and say it. I think silver's going higher than $500 an ounce. Probably 700, may get past that. Just based on the tremendous amount of money printing they've done. But anyway, the point being is that I got him up early in the morning and he was feeling a little groggy, and I told him to go meditate for half an hour. And he meditated for half an hour, and you have holosync and equipment to meditate. You can just sit there and he actually had headphones on, using sound technology. And after that half hour, he woke up and he felt better. He felt rested because he rested after he rested. I remember Jerry Seinfeld, because Jerry Seinfeld is a meditator. So is a lot of these guys actually use the, oh crap, no, I can't remember the methodology that they use, the Maharishi. What's the one they use? They use transcendental meditation. So they do the 3 times 20 minutes thing. I do the hour thing. But anyway, after that hour, or after that half hour, he was amazed, right? And I said, yeah, after you rest, you rest. After you sleep cycle, you rest. And then you go put yourself into it for 4 or 5 hours, and then you rest again. Maybe you need some nutrients, and then you rest. And when I say rest, I mean meditate. And then you put yourself into it for 4 or 5 more hours, and then you rest. Right? You should meditate 3 times a day. And if you don't have time to meditate 3 times a day, then you should meditate 4 times a day, and you should meditate for an hour a day if you don't have time to do 3 hours. Or three times. 3 times 20. I usually do 1 hour, at least 1 hour of meditation per day. Sometimes I do more than that, but at least 1. Today I will do at least 3 because it's Sunday and I got nothing to do. Feed myself, nourish my body, do the hot bath thing, do more of the detox that I've been doing with fucking crazy results. Everything's been happening at once and I'm not liking it. But yeah, I've definitely, this physical body is going through some positive changes, but to get to the positive change, you got to get the pilau out, as Kalua would say. And I had plenty of pilau that I put in the form of cigarettes, in the form of sugars. I used to, right? Sweet tooth. I had a sweet tooth. Like I used to be famous for making hot chocolate. I'm still famous for making hot chocolate, but I'll make hot chocolate so rich that if you drink too much of it, it'll make you sick. But it's delicious going down. I don't do that anymore. I don't do black coffee anymore. I don't do things that are detrimental to my health that I know are detrimental to my health. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't, right? All that kind of stuff. Okay, but I used to. So, and just because I stopped years ago, apparently doesn't mean that all of that shit isn't still in me, because it's still fucking, right? When I do some of these detoxes, holy crap. So I recommend for you the same. Figure out, right? And I can't tell you how to detox your body because I don't know what you put in, and I don't know how to tell you to take it out, because, you know, cadmium and some of the heavy metals, there's different methodologies for getting them out of your body. I have other people. I know I have a friend right now. She is suffering with gastrointestinal distress because she loved her sushi and she got parasites finally, and it's parasites. Okay, so and then parasites, they can be gotten rid of, but they're tricky. And it's not the parasite itself; it's the excrement from the parasites that can cause some of the issues that happen. And then if you have leaky gut syndrome and those parasites get into your lymph system, now you're really going to have trouble. And if you don't fucking control the parasites, eventually you will go cancerous and you will die. Not everybody that has parasites has cancer, but everybody that has cancer has parasites. Everybody that has cancer has parasites. So one of the things that you can do to get rid of your cancer, if you have it, is get rid of the parasites. And then that allows your body. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. But the point is that, you want to heal the body. I want to heal my body. I want to, and not because I want to live forever, because I don't want to live. I'm fucking tired of being here, as far as I'm concerned. I can go at any time, any fucking day. If I don't wake up tomorrow, yay. Right? Don't you fucking dare be sad for me or be like, oh, the 100 monkey died. He was so healthy. That was the point. Healthy, dead. Right? I don't want my sons wiping my ass for me. I have many friends my age now who have to wipe their parents' asses because their parents are completely losing their fucking minds with dementia, with Alzheimer's, with the other diseases, cancers, and respiratory diseases and so forth. Oh my fucking God. Because the demons love that. They love the louche. They love the sadness. They love the sorrow. They love the suffering. They love the pain. If you're smart, and if they're smart, you can use that suffering and pain to progress. What's the term? Do I have it here? I don't even know what to do with my paperwork. Where's all my notes? Because I can never remember. Oh, they're in the other room. All right, fine. There's two ways to progress, and one Ken show, and I can't remember what the other one is. But the idea is there's suffering, and then there's meditation and enlightenment and discernment. Most people choose the suffering path, unfortunately. I prefer the path of meditation. But like I said, my son figured out that, you rest, right? You do that meditation in the morning, the day goes better. He's figured that out. And now if I can get him to meditate before he goes to sleep at night, right? Now if we're going to, right? And see, he's only 15. Nobody was there to teach me this stuff, right? Nobody. All I learned about was go to church on Sunday. Sing about what it's like up there. Jesus is coming soon. Most patient motherfuckers on the planet are Christians. I swear to God. They've been waiting for years, and they're going to wait longer. But they're not going to wait never for vain. But it's not going to happen the way you think it does. This is the other thing. What's coming is going to be awesome, but it's not going to be what you think. Like I said, we don't get to the other side without some busted teeth and some, right? There's going to be some scrapes and casualties and so forth. Your job is to minimize that for you and your family and get to that nebulous other place that is quote unquote enlightenment or the higher dimension, or right. And do you think that see, this is the thing, it's an infinite fractal. There are many that are far ahead of us. There are many that are behind us. You can look around on the planet and see those that are right. We are as low on the totem pole as it can be. We are as aware that we are self-aware, right? We've made it that far, right? We are right. We just barely got to the point where we're not unconscious anymore. Like, can you see the line between there? All right, it's an infinite path that way. Or if you like it better, we can do it this way, and it's an infinite, right? Deeper and deeper levels, right? Or higher and higher consciousness. However you want to, whatever diction and language you have for it. But the idea being is that this is an infinite progression. Where we are on this infinite progression, there are many ahead of us and many behind us. Some of the ones ahead of us want to come back and help us go forward because they are connected to us karmically, not because they give a fuck about us, but because they can't go forward unless we go forward, right? They can't go deeper unless we go deeper. And some of them have no karmic connection to us at all, and just have compassion for fellow entities, creatures, and want to alleviate suffering as part of their service to themselves. So alleviate suffering if you can, but then understand that no good deed goes unpunished, because some of these people are suffering because they need to suffer. And when you remove that experience of suffering from them, you have created karma, and now something bad might happen to you. Right? Everyone has that story when you tried to help somebody out and it worked out badly for you because they needed the help. But now, and so don't try to help people that don't ask you. Right? Don't try to enlighten people that don't want to be enlightened. I'm not out here fucking trying to advertise my channel and get people to come to this thing and listen to me fucking rant for hours on a Sunday. Right? You chose to come here and listen to this, and some of it you agree with and some of it you don't, I'm sure. Again, I'm not saying this is gospel, but the idea is that there are those out there that need suffering alleviated from them, and they would like it if you did that, and they're asking for help, and therefore you should give help if you can. And it gets tricky in the car, right? Try to create no karma, right? Try to do no evil, right? Try to do no harm, right? The idea is just do no harm. But stand on your damn square. We talk about this constantly. Just stay on your square. They can't touch you if you stay on your square, and you will progress if you stay on your square. But if you can't stay on your square, do they want you in quote unquote higher dimensions? Do they want a person that flies off on the handle and gets angry immediately, right? Because from what I understand from reading a lot of this material, you're going to get to the point where, because you are doing it as you speak now, whether you want to or not, you are co-creating this reality. It took me a long time to figure that out. But no, you create this reality right along. I mean, the whole thing, like the moon is going to be there whether you look at it or not. I'm not in that belief system where there's people that believe that the moon isn't there unless you look. But I believe the moon is there whether you look or not. But the idea that we are co-creators in this reality and that everything, this was an idea in my head. And so I went and took the debt money that they gave me, currency, it's not money, down to where did I get this? Was it Home Depot? Office Max. And found the right size that I wanted. But it was started off and put it in my car. That was a pain in the ass getting it back here and then hanging it up on the wall, right? Even just this much, I created this, right? But I didn't do it by myself. Did I make this board? Did I put it in a cardboard box? Did I ship it to Hawaii? Did I unload the truck? Right? No, right? So it's a huge co-creation that's going on, all of us at once, because somebody, wherever this thing was built, understood that there was a guy in Hawaii that would probably want this thing at some point, and in order to do that, they had to create it, they had to conceive of it, they had to manufacture it, they had to put it in a box, and they had to ship it to a store where I could buy it. They didn't know me, but they just made it available so that I could put this, and now I can use this creation to teach mathematics, do these kind of things, make videos and so forth, and so that I have the ability to scribble a little bit to help you see what's in my mind along with my words, right? Okay, but it's co-creation. It's a huge, tremendous co-creation, right? And you are part of that co-creation. Nothing is happening to you. It's all happening for you. Had a little girl that was, why does this always happen to me? It's like, and I did. I had to feel sorry for her. Her father died, right? Got cancer and died, right? Her mother is a piece of work, and anyway, so and she's a student of mine, and she was like, why does this happen to me? Like, none of this is happening to you. Well, it sure feels like it, right? Because she's a teenager and she's subject to, like, well, what's your, like, teach her to meditate, teach her some mathematics so that she has options when it comes to career and choices and the ability to earn income or earn money, anyway, or make, serve others using her acumen. I think she wants to, well, I don't know. I think she wants to go into, she wants to do physics, but she wants to do like environmental science, where she sees that oceans need healing and ecosystems are being destroyed, and so and showing farmers how to not to create abundance without creating harm in the while they do it. Right, the byproduct shouldn't be like at hog farms and so forth. I love bacon. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'll fucking eat a piece of bacon. You hand me a piece of bacon, I'll put that thing in my mouth and enjoy it. I don't do it often, and there's no bacon in my house, but I love bacon. But take a look at how they raise hogs, and oh my God, and what they do to pigs, and that whole commodities, right? And then the fact that some of those, they make these huge acres of shit from these hog farms that just, right? Okay. Also, I know people that farm hogs here, and the land around the farm is rich because they take the poo from the hogs and they turn it into mulch, and right? Okay. And all the plants are green and so on. It's not a toxic wasteland of bacteria and stink and filth. There's a way to do things better. The hand of man should cause abundance. Right? I've seen now farms. I have a friend that has a biodynamic farm. And if you look at it on a map, if I name the name, then you'd be able to find out who it is, and I won't. But anyway, if you look at it on a map, they're surrounded by farms that use normal farming, and they're brown and right. They've got trees and so forth, or plant, but overall it's brown. This farm looks like a freaking emerald in the middle of, it's just this oasis because they use biodynamic farming, right? Their pigs are happy pigs, and their pigs get to walk around on the farm and poo, and then they let the chickens in and they spread that stuff around. There's a whole theory to it, and the grass is green. The freaking vegetables and fruits off of that farm are a cut above delicious. The bacon from those pigs is, my son's got spoiled on that bacon because you go get regular bacon from the store and compare it to the bacon from these, and there's no comparison. Same thing with their sheep. They have lamb that is delicious. Same thing with their chicken. Their chicken is delicious. They are now starting to institute, because finally they're allowed to use hemp and hemp seed and hemp products. But previous to this, they were using all manner of biodynamic farming techniques to make that farm an oasis. Right. The whole planet could be this way. And they produce more. They use less water and produce more per acre than their counterparts, than the people that are around them. Driscoll Farms is one of the ones that's around them too. I don't know if you know Driscoll, but Driscoll uses Roundup. Driscoll uses, they use way more water and produce less than my friends that use less water and produce more. All right. Point being is education, 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 mathematics, physics, and she thinks that would be a way that she would like to go, right? But she can't get there without that, and she cannot co-create in this universe thinking that the whole universe is against her and that everything's happening to her, and that her dad died, and which when you're a teenage girl, death by cancer is traumatic to say the least, and I don't have the ability to fix that, as it were, but I do have the ability to let her know that nothing's happening to you. It's all happening for you. Right? Every experience is for your benefit. You don't realize that, and you don't like to admit that, because some shitty experiences are shitty. Simple as that. I watched my mother die of cancer, right? But now I've cured other people. Because of that experience, there are at least 14, 15 people that I didn't do anything other than give them information that don't have cancer anymore. There are numerous people that I have a friend right now. It was pylori, by the way. It was pylori virus that caused ulcers in her stomach and eventually went cancerous and killed her because the cancer spread and blah, blah, blah. All right. I have a friend right now with pylori. I'm telling you, don't fuck around with that. Pylori killed my mother. And see, back in my day, they tried to make the doctor that discovered pylori virus sound like he was crazy and that he didn't know what he was doing. They ruined his fucking career because the conventional wisdom was there was no virus in your stomach that did that. It was stress that caused ulcers. And he was trying to say, no, pylori virus causes ulcer. And if you don't treat the pylori virus, eventually those ulcers will go cancerous. Okay, that's accepted now. But back in the 90s, that was crazy talk. Think about that. Anyway, so now I'm telling you, all right, here's how you treat pylori. And there's all these different things. Because I know for a fact, but hindsight being 2020, after the fact that my mother is in the ground, then I figured out how to treat pylori. And then they figured out how to, and now, like I said, right? But the idea being is that shitty experiences you can turn your frown upside down. You can take the shitty experiences and make it positive. That doesn't make the experience any less shitty. But at the same time, you can take it and move it forward, right? Okay, it's time to quit. That's Sunday school. What did we learn What did we learn today? See, now all I gotta do is that, I hope. LFS, motherfuckers, LFS. Love, forgiveness, service. That's all there is. We can talk about it for days and weeks and hours and months. Now, go out and practice it. Right? Do some self-care today. Do some meditation today. Figure out how to forgive somebody today. And I'm the worst one, but ask any of my friends, right? I am the worst one. You piss me off, and it is fucking hard to get forgiveness from me. Right? And there are a couple of people that have, and I'm not practicing what I preach here, that have come around to realizing, oh, wait a minute, there really are satanic pedophiles. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute, there really are children being kidnapped. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Anyway, they figured out that some of this conspiracy theory, wait a minute. When it came to the Russian collusion, it was Hillary. And that's in black and white now. Right? You may or may not have gotten the memo, but they put it out in black and white that, that whole Russian collusion thing was Hillary's plan. And now heads are going to roll. And see, Trump has said this out loud on, right? The president of the of United States Corporation, right, has come out loud and said, we busted them cold. Let's see what happens. Right? That it's a disgrace that it's taken this long, and some of these people are going to get like, but we busted them cold. They tried to attempt a coup. They tried to commit treason against the United States Corporation, against the president of the United States Corporation, and there's penalties for that. Let's see what happens. The problem is that the people that are in charge on the grander scale, they're the ones that committed the treason. The Manchurians, via their ability to own our media and via the media control the minds, made it so that a lot of people didn't notice. Comey's daughter, supposedly Epstein, who didn't kill himself, had these tapes that showed what happened there. Interesting that Pelosi, we get better video surveillance of Pelosi getting a haircut than we do of a high security, maximum security prison guy. But all right. So apparently the tapes are lost, but somehow these lost tapes that don't exist were reviewed by Comey's daughter. What? Okay, so go check into that. The fact that Comey's daughter is the one that reviewed the tapes when Epstein. And see that whole thing, and I can go down that whole Pizzagate thing. I can go down that whole rabbit hole with Nexium and all these pretty women that were traffickers of children. Hurts my feelings because they do. They use their beauty in the most nefarious and evil ways. And then we find out that a lot of these beautiful women have been traumatized since they were children to keep them in the club. And men, boys and girls, they treat their children. It's horrifying what they do to their children, right? I mean, just horrifying. And I know, and I can't betray confidences, but I've had people tell me about the kind of horrifying things their parents did to them because they understand that trauma keeps them in the fold and that they most likely won't talk about it and blah, blah. Or if they get too traumatized, they'll kill themselves. And that serves the purpose also because dead people don't tell any tales. But anyway, that's neither here nor there in this one. The point is, that's it. Go practice. Right? You got a lifetime, and we're running out of time is the other thing. I've been told this by numerous people. The light is coming. I'll just put it that way. You can take those words for whatever you mean. But the light is coming, and you only have so much time to practice this, clean up some karma, get some service to other, right? Try to clean this thing up because we're getting close here. And when I say close, I don't mean next Friday. There's years to go, years and years and years to go. But in the grand scheme of things, in this incarnation, we're getting close. So go out and practice. Practice on yourself, practice on others. And are you going to get it right every time? No. I don't expect I will. I don't expect you will. Then you forgive yourself and go back and practice again. Well, I don't know what I stuff on. All right. Meditation. Holy fuck. Look at all that. Yeah, and I'm on sauna, but I have a really hot bath, which I'm going to do. Yeah. Not just ginger tea, but all kinds of lovely teas. I've got blue lotus flower tea, and I've got all kind of crazy teas that I can't even pronounce from Chinese herbalists that are designed to clean out my lungs and clean out some of the my sinuses and all all the allopathic medicine that was given to me as a child, some of it is still affecting me now. And if I open my mouth wide and you look in there, I still have a couple of amalgams that are mercury, and I have to detox that on a consistent basis until I get rid of it. And I've been doing some detox on that, and holy crap, it hurts. I don't have anything. I thought like maybe I got a popcorn kernel under my tooth or something, but I mean, I was having some jaw, tooth, gum, I don't know what you call it, pain, and I mean pain, like pain. That obviously I'm detoxing something that's coming out. And then a strange taste in my mouth also was happening there for a little while. And that was all from doing this detox and all from taking these supplements and other things. It was fine. Now, I know people that say that they don't want to go through that because they don't want to go through like I had this one girlfriend a long time ago in a land far, far away, in a place called California, that had skin issues, let's put it that way. And she tried to do this detox, and holy fuck, every bit of her broke out. I mean, I was putting her in bathtubs of oatmeal, like ground fine powder oatmeal, like it's a milk bath, and because it actually makes a big difference. And you put warm water and pure milk, unpasteurized, unhomogenized milk, and oatmeal, and warm water, and bathing her skin, because it was, I mean, all of it, every bit of her, even her face. I mean, it was just fucking like one big, like a teenager with bad acne, except all over her whole entire body. And that lasted about 5 days. And she hated it, and I guarantee you I hated it. But after that, she cleared up quite nicely, actually. But there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to go through that 5 days. And now that I look back, had we done it more gently, it wouldn't have been so fucking ugly and harsh. And that was because of some things that she had foolishly done earlier, and it needed detox, and her skin took it out the fastest, easiest way. I've been to Gerson clinics where I've seen them use really simple nutritional practices to heal people of cancers and other things. So again, I don't have belief, I have knowing. And so I use some of these things on myself, right? Why do I do it? Again, because if you're in pain, you're going to be grouchy. It's going to be a whole lot harder. It's going to be a lot easier to get you in a situation where you need to forgive because you lose your temper or whatever when you're in pain, and when you're suffering and when you have poor health. Also, it's hard to stay in this when you are in that position because not having health costs money, right? And it also causes anxiety, and people are so afraid to die. I have, I don't do much healing work. I used to do some. I thought about it. My grandmother told me that and many others have told me this is the path I should take, but fuck it. I don't care. See, I don't care enough. Simple as that. And I certainly don't want to spend my life hanging around people, especially when I figured out that 100% it's you that's causing this, right? You are the one that smoked the cigarettes. You are the one that has the mental attitude. You are the one that, right, has your vibration that low. It's you. And if you're looking for a third party to come and fix you, you're going to have a hard time because nobody fixes you but you. The doctor aids you in healing. The kahuna aids you in healing. Right? They don't heal you, right? When I've done laying on hands my own self, and I have on a few occasions had some weird experiences, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. It came through me to them, and they accepted it. I don't understand it well enough to try to explain it to you. But it wasn't me, right? I don't have any powers, as it were. But all of us together have this ability to heal ourselves. And some of us can be conduits that allows that energy in. And I have no control of it. I can't do it all the time. If you come to me for healing, it's a hit or miss because it depends on you, right? I know other healers that it's not hit or miss because their knowing is greater than yours, and they just know that this thing is going to happen, and it does. Like I said, that one woman, I swear to God, when she puts her hands over you, it's like she has fire hoses, or not fire hoses, like sprinklers, like warm water. And she just puts her hands on you, and you can freaking feel it. You can be brain dead. I don't care. I've seen people when she put her hands on them, their expression on their face, because they like that's not supposed to happen. And she's not even making contact. She just puts her hands over you. Anyway, these are people that have been given gifts. And this woman is one of the women that has told me numerous times about this, especially this. Right? And she, why? Because she's selfish. Because she sees if I move on and others move on, she can move on. Okay. So that's Sunday school for today. I had more show and tell stuff, but I didn't, fuck it. It's 3 hours already, enough. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day. It's going to be a great week in the market. Understand and watch some of the stuff that I put below, and you got to come back because it takes me a while, right? I'm going to watch this, and then as I see it, it's like, oh, that's what I was talking about, and I'll find the link and I'll put it there. But there should be some links under this video. Actually, there should be a lot of links under the video. But for fuck's sake, do your own damn research, right? And I'm just some guy on the internet, right? So hopefully I just point you in the direction and you do your own damn research. A lot of people have figured out that, yeah, I wasn't joking when it came to the Pizzagate thing and when it came to the fact that, yeah, there's Saturnists and they're right. And it's not a belief. It's not me watching other people. It's people I know, like people I know, people I talk to. I know their children. I know their farm. I've been to see their animals. I know these people, and they are. One woman in particular, she was fucking checked out. Right? She, like I said, and see that you're allowed. You're allowed. You're not allowed to wish harm on others, but you are allowed to disengage from others. If you can't, because you're not going to be able to change anybody. So in her family, it was her fucking father that pimped her out. She just, and the guy's dead now anyway, but she had to figure out how to forgive that guy pimping out his own daughter. I can't even conceive of the fact, and I can't even see how she got to a place where she could forgive this, but anyway, she did, and now she lives on a lovely farm with lovely cows and her husband, and they have no children, and that's it. Right? She has very little contact with any other person, any other persons. And she spends her time with her animals. Right? And she's not out there. She supports me 100%. But she does not try to preach to others. She does not try to, right? She just steps back and watches. Right? And she's allowed. Right? And she has made a difference because she's let me know in no uncertain terms that this shit is going on, that I and you did not want to believe was going on because we are equitable, good people, and you cannot believe that there are humans out there that do the things they do and serve the masters they serve. And that's the other thing. Too much focus on that, not good for any of us. Right? And especially not good for mind and spirit and so forth. So not too much focus there. More focus on love, forgiveness, and service. But you can't do it, in my opinion, ignorantly. You need to know that this shit is out there. And that if the time comes, you can stand up to it, for one thing, and not succumb to it. I have too many people now, and I've seen too many people now, where they're so disgusted and fed up with the mask-wearing, mouth-breathing idiots out there that they don't feel sorry for the mouth-breathing, mask-wearing idiots anymore and are actually looking forward to their demise. No. Okay. 100th Monkey, educate yourself. I'll have links here eventually. But go out. Oh, here's a good book. I'm going to talk about this. I was going to talk about this a little bit, but here's a very good book. Right? This find anything by those women. But this book is hard to find in this form anymore. They used to call it the Little Blue Book, but there's plenty of iterations of this that talks about. Anyway, just find this book and look into it. All right, and that'll do it. But educate self, educate others. I think we'll do the Sunday school thing again. I had a hard time this week, when there's some of the things that happened. I wanted to make a video, but it's like, fuck it. 3 hours in a week is more than enough. Of me ranting. Plus, there's other people that you need to watch what they have to say and so forth. And see, we're in information overload. So those of you that sat here and watched this, and I've got, 12 likes on this video, and I know there'll probably be a couple hundred people that watch this, even though I have 1,730 subscribers. I only see YouTube showing this to a few hundred people at a time. I understand that you have lives and things to do, so I appreciate the time that you spend. And everybody that's given me Patreon, absolutely, thanks for that. But educate yourself, educate others. Right? E pluribus unum. I'm telling you, we get through this thing. It's going to be awesome. Not everybody gets there, right? So you want to be the one that you're going to get a flying car. Finally, you're going to have energy that you don't. Anyway, everything's going to change, but not until you educate yourself and educate others, and we can progress. And it's happening faster and faster. As you can see, things are happening rapidly now. The next 60 days going to be a lot of fun. We're just getting to the good part, right? Don't fucking check out before the good part. It's just going to be the good part. All right, so 100 Monkey out. E pluribus unum. I'll talk to you hopefully in a week. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourselves. Practice, practice, practice.